We live.
All right. Oh, Nivea for moist lips. For chapped lips, I mean. Lotte
All right.
for thirsty throats. Let's do it.
Right.
Do it.
Today I brought my headphones finally.
Your earbuds?
Yes.
Why don't you guys use the earbuds?
How are we connected to here?
Yeah. How do we connect?
Oh no, just in general, just in general.
Oh, I've had two, but I've lost both.
So that's basically like $400 down the drain.
Yeah.
Yep. I have cauliflower, so I can't really use those for too long. Like, one side is going to get a little bit weird.
Are there any earbuds that can fit?
No, this works. Like, these, like, really cheap ones with the... Like, these will work.
Your hearing's not bad though, right?
No, it's just... Well, shit, I don't know. Maybe it is different. I don't know.
See. Okay. Now we're.
Yeah, it's working? Just delayed, probably, right?
Yeah. It's a little delayed.
Cool.
Sweet.
All right, let's get started.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about today?
But as per suggestion, we will talk about dating.
Let's not address that. But
Well,
yeah,
I mean it's a fact. So.
Yeah, we're going to talk about dating.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Dating in different generations, and also
in Korea.
dating in Korea and in America,
Right.
and wherever else.
Right.
I've dated in other countries.
Right.
man, but I'm so dated because it's been a while.
Yeah, I mean,
How are you known?
Oh, long time, long time. It's like 13, 14 years.
Early 30s?
Yeah, like real early. When we
You've been married 13 years?
no. Since we know
Oh,
each
okay,
other
okay.
when we first met, but
Yeah.
when I came out to Korea, and then so it was a few years later that we really started getting committed to each other,
Mhm.
and then got married. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, my experience is going to be quite dated from you guys. And what I can say though is I know a lot of guys, a lot of buddies who share stories. So in many respects, it could be a blend of my personal experiences plus what I hear from them, right?
Mhm.
So
So this is back in 1940s?
39, bro.
yeah, man. You know, we had to like basically we had to push the cars. You know, TVs were black and white.
All right, so,
Wait, were there drive-in movie theaters?
oh, there must have been.
Because I've been to a drive-in movie theater, so...
I mean, they
I'm
still
just- they're
exist.
still
Yeah, they still have them.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Korea, too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Dude, I was unaware they existed in the States.
Oh, that was an American thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've never been to a drive-in theater.
Mm.
Um,
Shoot, so
But-
we have, but...
But here's one thing though. I mean, it's like in talking about dates and stuff. Back in the day, you had a double feature in the movies. So you got two movies for.
Well, who had the time to sit through two movies? I guess movies are
What's a
shorter,
double
though.
feet? What do you mean?
Like, movie and then another movie. Back to the Future 1, and then wait for Back to the Future 2.
You pay for a ticket, right? And you could watch two movies. It was a double feature. You know, and then
Like legally, or are you just thinking?
no, yeah, like
Oh.
really, yeah.
Yuno's doing a double feature right now.
Yeah.
Illegally.
Double feature. Yeah.
There was a day where I watched 3 movies. Like, you know how in the States, you show them the
Yeah,
ticket
yeah,
and then
you're
you're
in.
inside.
Yeah.
So we watched 3 movies then.
But that's even a little bit wild, because now it's almost reserved seating in the States, too.
Oh,
Like
it
most
is?
theaters,
Oh,
yeah.
it is?
At least in Virginia.
That's
Like, you buy tickets, just like you would buy airplane tickets. So you're like, oh, I'll take C5.
Like here, just
yeah,
like
just
here.
like here. So,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
That's what the theaters were like in Northern Virginia, at least. But I guess I was going to some...
Which do you
nicer-
prefer, by the way?
Which one?
Like, that you have reserved seatings at the movie theaters, or you just first come, first serve?
See, that's tough, man. Because if you do first come, first serve, you're rewarding people, like, to show up early.
Right.
And because, like, the problem with reserved seating, I guess people can just come, like, companies can buy out, like, 30 of the best seats in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then their employees can choose to go or not to go.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have, yeah. So that's kind of, I don't know.
No, but I mean, does the seat location outside of the extreme edges, right? Does it really matter?
Mm.
You know, like, cause I could go aisle on the side, but the screen is so big. I mean, it's not gonna like really detract from my viewing experience, right?
Right.
Like some people are very adamant about being locked in.
Yeah, that's me.
Middle
to back. That's me.
That's me.
I'd rather not sit on a side.
Really?
Yeah. Like you'd be like looking like this all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
And your hearing,
Yeah.
it fucks you up. Like if you're on the left side, only my left ears.
It's like that center, but just on the aisle, not the center.
I would
right?
prefer the middle. I mean,
Right.
it's like yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, yeah, like double features back in the day, black and white TVs, right?
Black and white.
And to
We
your,
had some
to your
black
point
and white.
about time, back in the day there was a lot of time.
How'd you meet people?
You call? Oh,
You just through school, socials.
Wait, could you call?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you had the rotary phones, right?
The
No,
Oh,
the
there's
that-
that.
yeah.
Wow.
Or like the ones where you have a handle like this and then you seem to there and
Right,
you're
right.
like Northern Virginia 3574, you know?
You didn't have that for real. I was gonna say, hey, operator. I was gonna say
No,
that's
no,
a
no.
little before your
No,
time.
no,
I mean, I
Yeah.
think they still had those as like gimmick phones.
yeah.
Like I think we had one that we could just hold and talk into.
Right, but it
Separate
was like,
earpiece,
yeah,
but it was just a regular phone.
You had- Did you have like a notebook where you wrote down all the phone numbers?
Oh, a black
Yeah,
book, right?
Yeah,
That was-
no, there were black books.
Wow.
Yeah, like little ones and like ones you could fit into your wallet or your pocket,
Whoa.
right? No, but this is like, God, like even in the 90s.
Well, you know what's even crazy?
Yeah, I mean,
is
I did that too.
the crazy thing was those phone numbers weren't even those girls' phone numbers. They were the household phones.
Yeah.
So you'd have to be like, "Hello, Mrs. Johnson," and then to Sarah, and then she'd
So
be
Sarah
like,
Johnson, huh?
"Yeah, Sarah Johnson." I'm like, yeah, damn. So yeah, that I do remember making phone calls to friends and being like, having to ask if so and so was available.
Right,
And you,
right. Yeah,
you
me
know,
too.
sometimes
Absolutely.
they could be in the back, be like, "I'm not here,"
Right.
and then yeah,
True.
yeah,
I remember that.
the parents would cover for
Moms would always pick up, and I would get so flustered. 'Cause I don't
panic.
Wanna, yeah. I'd be, oh.
You're
Can I talk
calling
to your daughter?
daughter, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
No, the one thing though back then was that I memorized all the numbers.
Yeah, same.
You know what I mean?
At least 10.
At least.
At
Girls,
least.
girls numbers?
No, just
Girls,
in
guys,
general.
friends,
Yeah,
people,
Mom,
you know?
dad,
yeah.
sister, like, I don't know.
I still remember some of my friends. 703-378-1552. That was all my friends.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I barely remember my own, like, phone number back then.
Even I have a hard time remembering my phone number now.
Yeah.
So, where would you get people's phone numbers? It would be through friends or at school.
You mean for a girl?
Yeah, for a girl.
Yeah, it'd be through. So we're talking like.
That's like high school.
Elementary, middle school, high
Oh,
school.
Elementary school, I was calling people. Damn, Jerry started young.
Yeah, but it was through friends, right?
Yeah.
And you know when you have I don't know if you guys refer to the generations, but you have a crush, right? You're crushing
Yeah,
on
yeah,
her, right?
crush.
So if you have a crush, you know people know, the kids know, and I feel like even the girl knows that you kind of like her, right?
Mhm.
And if I wanted to talk to her or just call her over the phone, then usually it was through one of her friends who knew, right? Who knew me and so on. But like everybody knew. You know?
Mhm.
So yeah, in high school it was just I would just ask the girl, but it didn't happen a lot in high school. But the ones that I did, it was just
You didn't have pagers in high school, did you?
oh shoot, you know what?
I think I had pagers in middle school for me.
I vaguely remember pagers in my childhood, too.
Yeah.
No, we did.
You had
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So that was one way, and like you had to use payphones to call people. So if you didn't have quarters, you would have to. You could hit like operator, and you could be like, "Hey, I need a ride from the mall real quick," and then just hang up.
Hang up, right, right.
Because it would be free at that point. So you
You're-
could just
you're-
like, yeah.
That's right. Like
That was probably the tail end of like our generations overlapping.
yeah. I mean,
Because I got my first cell phone in college. I mean, they were around. They were around in middle school and high school. I just like refused to get one. I was against technology. But
Wait, so you got your first one,
my phone.
yeah, when you, like,
if you
met
started
your
early,
wife?
you probably would have had in high school. I think.
No,
If you
no,
got
no,
it in
no,
high
no.
school, how?
Oh, well, I got it in college. But
Oh, in
oh,
college.
that's true. Sorry,
So
you would have had it in,
Right
in
after
college.
Right after college. So
Mm.
right after college, I did
Damn.
get a cell phone. It was for a side project that kind of required me to moonlight. You know, not my main job, right? And so I needed another number, and so I got this phone. I still have this phone. It's a Nokia phone, right? It's
A brick. Yeah. You
Holy crap, it's a brick. like, so basically, say like we're meeting up and I'm walking towards you, I'm like maybe 50 meters down, right? You guys can tell which pocket that brick is in, right? It was so big and it stuck out, and my jeans weren't like, say, necessarily like baggy jeans, but it was still like, it was kind of like
Sagging.
one
yeah.
side.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
Oh, for sure, man.
I mean, I can barely remember.
They're actually getting
back in
bigger.
elementary
They're
school. I
going
mean, they are,
backwards.
yeah,
No,
they
they're
are
going-
getting
They're going backwards, exactly.
bigger. Yeah, and because like the foldable thing is gonna come out
Yeah.
too. I mean, damn, that's crazy. So your first phone was after college.
It was after college,
What I would,
mid-90s.
it's like
Because
right now, I would
you,
get my
like,
first phone.
You know how like important the phone is to be able to date people and to meet people? It's like, I mean, everything. Your phone's
Yeah.
right here.
Right.
So before that,
How
I
the
mean,
hell
you
did
probably sent a lot of notes in high school, right? Because notes were, like, I remember in middle school, girls would write like,
meet me?
"Do you like me? Yes or no?" Circle it and then like send it back.
That sounds.
XOXO.
Are you sure?
Yeah, middle school.
No,
Do you
you
like
know what?
me? That's so
It was
cute.
stuff like that, like, are you free on the weekend? Or like, yeah, do you want to go out for, like, on the weekend, go to the mall or something? Yes or no? And then you could just like circle it and then give it back, and then she would be crushed if you said no.
Damn, you said
Wow.
no?
Oh, dude,
man,
I
you're a
didn't even
heartbreaker.
no, I didn't even mess around with girls. I was all about dudes.
Huh?
Huh?
Wait, what?
Is this live? No. No, I didn't. I was like more into just hanging out with my guy friends all the way up until essentially college.
There
I
must
was
have been
doing
some ugly ass
sports.
girls.
Yeah, but like I think also like the lack of, I wouldn't say self-confidence, but the lack of, like, you know, there are a lot of white girls,
Oh, that's true.
but it's hard to like attract white girls as an Asian guy. So I was like
Was it?
kind of disinterested. Well, my kind of area of Northern Virginia, it's still southern, more southern than you.
That's
So
true.
your
And,
student body, were there a lot of Asians?
Yeah, this when I
have
was there, like maybe 20%.
That's still a
15,
good
20%?
amount.
Yeah, but like they all stuck together.
Were there any?
So like they were all like people that moved from Asia.
Were there any?
There were fobs.
Yeah, they're fobs. So it's hard for me to like go up there and be like, hey, what's up?
Were there any
Fob.
Asians dating like white dudes?
If
or
there were adopted Asian kids that were so like white. That like there's this like Korean adoptee. She had like a French last name.
Mhm.
She was like a cheerleader, but she was as white
Right.
as you could like be.
Yeah.
And she dated like everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And she
Not-
dated
not-
everybody.
Oh my bad, not everybody. But yeah. So like I wasn't really like, I guess I didn't really have like much of, maybe in high school, like one or two girls that like we kind of hung out. It was probably dating, but
Right.
like I just considered hanging out more than
Right,
anything.
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
But yeah, like passing notes was a big thing.
yeah.
Because I remember getting in
feel
trouble
like
for
I-
passing notes.
Yeah.
You'd
I was
be-
passing notes to my guy friends.
Do you want to go to the mall?
Like,
Yes or no?
scream. Holler.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a tangent, but that reminds me of Tony Romo and Terrell Owens. I don't know if you heard this story. So Terrell Owens was the receiver and Tony Romo was his quarterback, right? And Owens just wasn't getting, he felt like he wasn't getting a lot of the balls passed his way, right? So during a team meeting, they were sitting next to each other, and he passed Tony Romo a note. He's like, "Do you like me? Yes or no?"
That's funny. And Terrell Owens is probably right around my age, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably. If he's retired now, he's probably like 38. I'm assuming.
Something like
38,
like
39,
mid-
yeah.
mid to
So
late
that would
30s,
make sense
yeah.
if we're the same, yeah.
No. So anyways, yeah. Back to dating.
So no notes for you. You
No
didn't send-
notes.
They didn't have
for-
paper.
Yeah, they didn't have paper. They had to write out papyrus
Carved with a rock.
and then send it on a bird.
On a bird, the pigeon. Yeah, man, those pigeons were dope, man. You know?
So I mean, I guess it was more ballsy. You had to go straight up to a girl and get rejected cold-hearted versus a
Right.
note was like, if you didn't get that letter back, you just assumed, no, I guess she's not
Yeah,
interested.
like I don't know. Maybe it was
It's
just
like a text message.
It was a text
Yeah, it
message.
was a text message.
Except that text message passes through everybody else's
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
they're like, oh,
hey,
he
can you
got
give this to
rejected.
so and so? Yeah, and then like, yeah. Can you imagine that? If you
God.
sent a text message and I got to read it before it got sent?
No, oh my
Yeah,
god.
exactly. That would end everything. Yeah.
yeah. No, the in high school I was kind of like you, where it was more about hanging out with the dudes and just kind of sports, you know. I didn't date much in high school.
Yeah, same.
I
felt a
was,
lot
I
of-
was a late bloomer in,
Yeah,
in that respect.
I was gonna
'cause
say,
college was when I really started dating.
I consider myself a late bloomer in that respect too.
Yeah.
But I kind of am happy that I was more of a late bloomer.
Mhm.
Because some of the kids that were like into girls in like middle school and stuff, I think about it, I'm like, damn, these guys are like, what were they doing in middle school? Like as nervous as like as uncomfortable you are with your own body at middle school, high school, like to have to deal with the opposite sex, and the only exposure that you've had is like through public education, like sex ed. It must have been miserable.
And sex.com.
Sex talk. They're not a sponsor yet. But man, yeah, what about you?
I mean,
It was
well,
all through text, right?
yeah, I remember. Well, I think until third grade, because I was still living in the States. I think there were some notes involved. I passed this on to whoever, whatever. And then I think I had my first cell phone when I was in 4th or 5th grade, when I was going to school here in an international school. It was like that Samsung digital, like any call or something. The slide.
Any call.
Yeah, any call.
Wow.
And that's when I really started texting people, and then I came back to the States. I got that LG chocolate phone. Started texting. Texting the girls, and you'd have to wait.
You could have a phone in your pocket in school, or it had to be like shut off in your locker room or in the locker.
No, I don't think we were able to carry that. Even if we were, I don't think I was.
Like,
It's probably in the locker.
In high school, like that was our rule for like, again, we had cell phones probably like sophomore, junior, senior. So you're allowed to have your cell phone in your locker turned off. If it went off in class, your teacher could take it, and it was up to them to give it back to you whenever.
Right.
Like that was just understood. If they want to hold on to it for like a week, you're not getting it back.
Yeah, we
You'd have to get a parent note.
Yeah.
In high school, like everyone.
Had one.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, like, how else are you gonna take a test? Everyone was doing it. Everyone was like,
Well, I'll tell you this much. In regards to passing notes,
Yeah.
there were a lot of note passing during exams.
During exams.
Oh, yeah.
wow, that's risky.
Not necessarily for me, but like my peers. Yeah.
We had a system where in our one like biology class, a kid would tap, like he'd cough, and that would just activate everybody that was in on it.
Yep.
You would know. Oh, here comes the answer, and he'd like tap his pen a certain amount of times, and that would be like,
Hey,
yeah, no, it would be like question 14. Tick tick tick
what
tick
the
tick,
hell?
tick, right? And then it would be like, oh,
This is a
14,
movie?
and then he would like do something like a pound would be an A, or like kick would be something. And then we would all get like C's on the test together. We're like, dude, why are we doing this? The amount of time that we're practicing coordinating, we could just study. Yeah, it was miserable. But so you had phones, and I think Unit was talking about like in the past, your first, like when did you know like, oh man, I'm interested in girls?
In kindergarten.
That's what exactly when he told me that I was. Because it's not like he was interested in another kindergartner.
Well, I was.
Oh, I thought you were interested in a teacher. Or like you had.
Oh,
like,
that was 2nd grade.
Yeah, 2nd grade. You're like,
Yeah.
whoa, this teacher like is doing something for me.
She's high.
Which
She
is.
was high.
I mean, she was probably 23 or something.
Yeah,
Probably 23,
probably
24,
in her mid-20s.
So, I was trying to think like when the first time, because whether you're straight or gay or whatever you identify as, like.
When
You
that
probably
feeling
have
sparks.
that. Yeah, you probably have that first feeling of like, well, I'm supposed to like. I mean, if you're gay, you're probably like, oh, I'm supposed to like the opposite sex, but it's weird that I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm like sparked by the same.
I feel like
sex.
that feeling that must come later than.
Then like 2nd grade.
Right. A bit, yeah, and it's later than being like straight and you liking someone.
Right.
'Cause I feel like the feeling to know like, oh, I should be liking like that group of people, but I don't.
Right. I'm more interested.
Yeah,
in seeing-
what's going
So
on? Like, that's
what did that
probably-
feel like for you?
Huh?
No, so like I think I like it's one of those things where like I think my first memory is 5th or 6th grade. There was this girl that was like hitting puberty already at like 5th grade, and she was already like developed,
Right.
and nobody had like breasts yet. And I remember all the kids like it was just a thing where like all the guys would just keep looking at her like
Right.
could not keep their eyes off of her like breasts.
Yeah.
And she's a 5th grader.
Right.
But we're all 5th graders.
Yeah.
So we're all like, I just remember like oogling over this girl,
Yeah.
and I still remember her name. I'm not gonna say it,
Yeah.
but I still remember her name and thinking like, well, it's weird that maybe not so much weird, but it's why am I drawn to this?
Right.
Like thinking like, huh,
That's pretty
strange.
late.
You
Yeah.
had the awareness for that?
In 5th grade.
At 5th grade, that you're
And
like,
he just
why
said
am I
that's pretty late. Because he recognized this in second grade, in like you said earlier, kindergarten.
Do you think it's because of what you're exposed to on TV?
Maybe. I mean, the
It could
kids
be.
these days.
It's probably even younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because everyone has access to the internet and stuff. Like kids be looking at their phones. They must know.
I mean, it could also just be a biological thing as a guy.
Exactly.
That like, you just see it and you're like, oh,
It
I don't know
triggers
why.
it.
It just
Yeah.
triggers it.
I might just have been a dog.
Could be a dog. Too. What one was your like first? Do you remember?
Dude, yeah. Okay, so kindergarten. I remember the girl's name too, Cindy.
Damn.
And we macked. Like in kindergarten, that was my first kiss. Right?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Kindergarten, bro.
Yeah. And-
like a with tongue?
No, I don't think. No, it wasn't tongue. But
Like a popo, right?
Yeah, popo.
Like
it was like a long.
What?
But it
Yeah.
wasn't like, so it wasn't like I'm kissing my mom like it's a sign of affection. It was like
yeah.
a sexual kind of attraction. Maybe not sexual, but like, yeah, some sort of attraction.
Some
There was
kinda,
some type
yeah,
of
attraction.
definitely. So I can't explain
Right,
what that
right.
attraction was, right? I can't even tell you if I got like
It was love.
turned on or something, but there was this definite like, I like this, right? I like this kid, I like this girl, whatever, right?
And
but
Cindy
then-
was white. She was
She
Asian.
was white,
Uh,
she was blonde, and
Ooh.
I remember
yeah,
it,
she's
la-
in kindergarten. No.
it lasted one day. It lasted one day. So one day we were just all around the school.
It was that Asian breath, bro. You had that kimchi, so she was like, I cannot do this.
I'm proud of my
She's-
kimchi bread.
She's used to eating bologna, and all of a sudden she had that spam.
Spam, bulgogi, samgyeop, pork, and you name it.
What happened?
She ended up playing with the other girls like dolls, and I actually ended up playing.
Forest.
No, there was this thing that we did with the big tires. There are these big tires, and you get into it, and then they like roll you, right?
Huh.
So the playground had a little bit of a incline, a very slight incline, and then the other kids would like push you, and then you kind of roll inside the tire, right? I don't know if you guys ever had that, but I was enthralled with that the next day, and she was enthralled with like Barbie dolls or dolls, right? And so it just kind of like naturally
It's
diverged.
interesting how they both those like, I guess like activities were so like it's very male. I'm gonna play with these wheels and like roll.
Right.
Mhm.
And then these girls are gonna be playing with dolls and like, you know,
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's kind of strange that like you automatically just like kind of gear towards your gender roles that you're supposed to play with. And but they were saying that like how kids like if you give a kid this water bottle, like a boy, he'll turn it into a gun,
Yeah.
and then a girl will like hold it and cradle it like a baby.
Oh, is that right? Just
Yeah, just like
naturally?
naturally, or like it's just something. I don't know if it's natural or maybe it's just like something that gets like your parents are pushing you towards it. Like, oh, look at this. Like your dad's like, it's a grenade, and then to a daughter like, oh, it's a little baby. So you're kind of like nurturing them to play their gender roles at an
Right,
early
right.
age.
So you guys couldn't have. You guys never. Like you guys didn't dirty text while you were growing up.
Yeah.
You couldn't.
No, remember we
We
were
wrote-
carrier pigeons.
we did dirty notes.
But that goes through everybody.
Actually, there was dirty notes. I was just kidding, but I remember dirty notes. The teachers would read them out loud. Or they
Oh
would
my
start,
God.
and then they'd be like, "I can't read this," and then they would fold it up. And we're like, "Yo, we can't stop that."
What was it saying? Like I want to like spank you or
Well,
something.
like if they did, like they would just get sent straight to the principal's office.
God damn.
Yeah,
Oh, so the teachers intercepted the notes.
yeah, for sure. If you saw,
And they had balls to write that in class.
well, as soon as the teacher, it was all on chalkboard. So as soon as they turn around to write on the chalkboard, that's when the notes are going. As soon as she turns around, whoever has it last holds it, and if she turns around, you have it.
Yeah.
You're busted for holding it.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
So
You could have just.
you're an
been passing
accomplice.
it.
You're an accomplice. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Hard school, man.
What do you think about like online dating now then?
Yeah, so like before online dating, there was like, and before Craigslist, and before, that was probably newspaper classified ads where people
Oh.
would straight up write in the
Right,
ads like,
savages.
That's right.
hey, lonely, whatever, male, 25, Bay Area,
Barbaric.
like likes candlelight dinners, please respond.
They call it the personals.
The personals, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember, did they put their phone numbers there?
They
or,
did.
Or
They
was it like,
must.
reply back with your own ad?
No
Like,
way.
hey, I saw your ad last week.
No, there were, if I remember correctly, there were
Numbers.
phone numbers.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, dude, you're
Yeah.
opening yourself up to
Totally.
just random kids that want to just put quarters in and just start
Right.
prank calling you.
And I think another option was PO boxes. Right, so it wasn't your home
Right.
address, but
Yeah.
if you're interested, you could write a letter.
A letter.
And it
Wow.
goes to this post
Do
office
they
box.
still have that?
P.O.
P.O.
boxes?
boxes?
No,
Yeah,
no,
for
in the,
sure.
in the
Oh,
paper.
I
the
think they
section.
might actually.
They might, but
Who's
you know,
doing
it
that?
would probably be
Like,
all,
at
like,
this day and
online.
age.
Some 70-year-old that hasn't like
Oh my
got with the
god.
tech wave.
Holy shit. Like Tinder. Like, do your friends use it
Yeah, before I got married, I was using Tinder for a little bit.
Right.
And,
successfully or?
successfully. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know how you would like rate success.
Oh, right, right.
Like
Well,
if you're
I think you
success,
know.
if you're talking about success as in like, you like long-term relationships, no.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about success,
That's not what I'm talking about.
if we're talking about sex, then then it's much easier to find success on that. But that is essentially the newer generation of the Craigslist ads, which is the newer generation of
Right, right. It just
the newspaper ads.
Yeah, but I also think it's just this day and age's way of meeting people, right?
Well,
I'm
it's
totally-
socially acceptable.
Exactly.
Yeah, which it wasn't in the past.
And so there are friends of mine who are single, both guys and girls, right? And they're so against Instagram and Facebook and like Tinder and things like that, and they have the stigma against it. And I'm like, why do you have a stigma against it? This is just basically how people are meeting each other, right? And so it's just changing with the times, but they're still really entrenched in their old way of thinking that you had to meet someone, I don't know, like however they were used to
face to
meeting,
face.
face to face or whatnot. And
Oh, you think about your circle that you can reach when
Right.
it's face to face is limited to your school,
Yeah.
limited to your community,
Your friends' friends.
your friends. It gets a little incestual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moms,
Cousins
like friends.
and,
Yeah.
So what happens is when you start getting bigger and like you put that out in the Washington Post personals, now you're reaching a bigger audience. But the negative stigma of that was like, oh, if you meet someone from a newspaper, you're gonna get murdered. Like that's a serial killer, or it's like only
A weird
weirdos are on there.
person,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then once like, I can't remember like ChristianSingles.com or like Match.com and all those other
Cupid, something Cupid.
eHarmony,
eHarmony.
yeah, all that stuff. You know, they started to add it had to go through this progression of like, let's get the stigma of the weirdness out of it
Right.
by putting a Christian spin on it or putting a, you know, quote unquote percentage formula, which is probably a bunch of bullshit, but it was like, you fill out a little bit of questionnaire and then you're a 30% match with this person, so maybe you shouldn't meet them, but you're a 60% match with this serial killer, so you should meet them. So it's like, I think though that like order started making it a little bit more acceptable to meet people online, and then Tinder just reverted backwards. It was like, fuck the information. You're just gonna base it on a picture,
You want
meet
sex?
them, and smash
Use
them.
our app. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it went back to the creepiness,
Right.
but at the same time, people were okay with it because there were regular people.
Ain't nobody got time.
Yeah, and there were regular people that are willing to engage in adult activities
Mhm.
with each other.
You know,
You know?
I think. Did you see the Tinder ads here?
yeah,
Oh,
TV.
it's like on TV.
It's on
commercials.
TV. Yeah. They make it seem like it's not like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
at all, and you know using the app to make friends, of like
yeah.
the same sex and stuff.
But everyone knows that
Right.
the stigma or the label that's attached to Tinder is just it's a hookup app,
Yeah.
right? And so when you look at the girls' profiles, like the vast majority says no hookups,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Now, granted, whether
So what are they doing on
it,
there?
it ends up
Looking for
happening or
friends.
not. No, looking for friends or looking for like long-term
Are
relationships.
people
right?
really looking for friends there?
This is where I feel like if you are a girl though, you have the stigma of like if I had a Tinder profile and I wrote no hookups as a guy, some girls would be like, yo, look at this guy, no hookups. They might be interested, but if a girl doesn't leave that in there, I think it's just cheapens their image. Like other people's perspectives are gonna be like, oh, this girl hasn't put that disclaimer in that she's not in for hookups. So I think like every girl is going to have that no matter what. Like you should, because it's like, why advertise yourself lesser than what like, you know, like if it was like a straight up hookup site and it was called like Bang Buddy Tinder, then like, yeah, you don't need to put no hookups.
Isn't
Like,
that
Tinder-
basically what it is?
It is, but it isn't though. Not anymore. Like you're saying, it's an activity based
Well, that's what meetup is.
Can you still do
I don't know. I don't use it, man.
yeah, meetup is an activity. But yeah, like the last time I used Tinder, I think it was just you select your gender and then you select
What
the
gender,
gender
looking
you're
for?
interested in.
Age, probably, huh?
Yeah, by filters, right? But
Yeah.
I don't think there was a feature where you could be like, "Oh, I'm here for activities. I don't care what gender they are."
Whoa.
You know? Like, not that kind of
Yeah, I'm a
activities.
dog. Holla.
No, like Chris, when you're talking about the image of being on there and that label of like no hookup, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe this is a stretch, but it's like girls who go to clubs, right? And
They're just there to dance, bro.
yes, thank you. Thank
He's
you.
there to listen to the music.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm here for the music. This outfit helps me dance.
Exactly.
And this drink helps me lose it up.
So if we said, okay, this is going to be actually a place where there's really good music, but no guys, would you go there? Right? You can dance all you want.
Are you asking me?
No,
I'm
no,
not
I'm
a-
just saying, like,
Hell yeah, he's there. No, but to that point, some girls do go to gay clubs because that's what they
True.
want. It's like they want a no, like stressful, just
Right.
like girls hanging out.
totally.
Yeah. So
And
like some girls may be into that, but at the same time, every person, male or female, is gonna want some sort of attention from the opposite sex.
That's right.
Yeah. So like you
Yeah.
can't discredit.
Yeah.
Not
Who
discredit.
the hell is really going to listen to music? You could listen to music at home with your earphones on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's such a bad reason.
To go to a club.
Yeah. So I noticed you go clubbing like every week. I just
many
go to
girls.
listen to the music.
So many say that.
But
No.
in your
know.
in your guys' like, and I'm not like against your guys' thought. I'm kind of with you too, but in that kind of thought frame, like what would make sense is like, you wouldn't be able to go to a club then if you were in a relationship. Like, why would you be going to a club?
Right.
Right?
Well, I don't.
Yeah, I'm just saying
I
like,
don't either.
Yeah.
like any person that's going to a club, you would make the argument of, why are you going? If you're
I
just
think that's a big thing here in Korea because like when you're dating, the Korean girlfriends and Korean boyfriends expect the other
person,
person
Yeah.
to not go
right? Or go
and-
together,
or go together or they
or
find
come
it,
back home at a reasonable time.
right or they find it like very like offensive and I noticed like jealousy is like a much more huge thing
in
here.
Korea, yeah.
More than America, especially. But then, like, I didn't understand that at first, but after
Oh, yeah.
frequenting these clubs in said Korean, whatever nightlife,
Yeah.
I completely understand.
Yeah, because
These guys are dogs.
yeah, they're dogs. Number one.
They're
I mean,
dogs.
Like way more than America, by the
Oh
way.
my
Uh,
God, these guys are. It's
when-
like borderline sexual harassment.
it's kidnapping.
Yeah, it is
Oh,
sexual
it is,
harassment.
totally.
The first time I went to the clubs with like when I got to Korea, because I had been to like a few clubs in DC growing up, like in college and stuff, and then like I didn't really like enjoy it that much. Then when I came to Korea, it was probably a few times with Unil actually, and like the few times that we went, we would see guys literally picking girls up like onto their shoulders and like
Yeah.
carrying them to their tables,
It's
or
kidnapping.
grabbing girls by the wrists and like just escorting them to their tables. And I remember like as a Kyopo, which is like a Korean American, we were all like, yo, what the heck? Like, I can't believe that girls just like you can just grab girls and do that. And like these girls are not really like against it,
Right.
but they again, it's that disclaimer of no what were we talking about earlier? On Tinder, the no.
Oh
No
No
hookups.
hookup. No hookup.
And they like even if they're interested in the guy, they have to pretend like, oh, don't pull me,
That's
but they're
right.
still
Don't wanna seem
walking
too
with
easy.
you. Exactly. That's the disclaimer of, I am interested, but I can't walk with you to that table because now I'm too easy.
Yes.
So that's what like was really hard for me to see.
Play
Was
hard
like
to get.
these girls would get picked up, and like they would be like, but they're still laughing and going. And I'm like, yo, if I picked up some girl like that, I'd probably be in jail.
Yeah.
Like the next day they'll be like, yo, this dude with cauliflower ear, dark
Cauliflower
Asian
ear.
dude, like picked up this girl, and like just like nabbed this girl and was taking her to the bathroom or something. You know, like that. So like I could never enjoy Korean clubs because if you aren't borderline sexually harassing people,
Yeah.
you're not interested.
Right.
So, like, the opposite sex just doesn't give you attention either.
Right.
So-
That's something that's really common in Korea. So I mean, taking it outside of the club pickup realm, right?
Mhm.
It's like something that's
general.
like, like just in general that you see every day. Say like, I'm a Korean hyung, a big bro for you, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy you lunch, and you're like, no, Hyung, please, no, I'm gonna buy you lunch, right? And you do this like little tiny song and dance, like, no, you don't need to do
Oh,
that.
right,
But
right.
deep down, it's like you're gonna say yes, but you have to go through the motions of saying like, no, it's okay, or let me get
Right.
it this time, let me help
Right.
pay, whatever. And then that 1, 2, 3, and then it's like, okay,
Uh-huh.
I'll get it next time, something like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
right? That's really ingrained in this
So it's like
culture.
Asian culture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that must be.
And what you just mentioned about the girls not wanting to come off as being interested, but we don't want to appear to be that open or that easy, is I'm going to say no a few times, right? That really didn't register with me. So, like, I've been to Busan, I've been to a few places, and long time ago, some of these, like, little bros would take me to clubs, right? And what they told me was, like, you're actually way too nice to these girls, right?
Yeah.
And
I've
I said,
gotten that
like,
a lot too.
what are you talking about? She doesn't want to like hang out with us, right?
Mhm.
And like, so I'd gone and asked, hey, do you want to join us for a drink, or can we buy you a drink or something like that? And they say no. No is no,
Right.
right?
Yeah, for
us,
Korean
for
Americans.
us,
Yeah.
yeah, for
No
Korean
means no.
Americans.
No means no.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
for a Korean dude, no means try a little bit harder.
Try
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah,
and
I want you to show me that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want
yeah,
me.
right.
If they say no again, keep
Oh
keep
yeah.
doing it, right?
Yeah.
And this is a recent conversation I actually had in a group setting where there were Korean girls, and they said the same thing: is that
From their perspective.
from their
that's what- yeah.
perspective, that
Even if they're interested, they'll say no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
that you
Oh,
they
so
want to see the
they
guy
did say
to
that.
yeah. And this actually in I don't know if it can really segue into the jealousy part,
Mm.
but I think there's a tinge or a hint of that in how Korean guys act towards when they're very jealous and very overprotective of their girlfriends.
Possessive.
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 The girl actually equates like,
That he loves me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, possession.
He loves me.
Dude,
Like,
look how passionate
yeah,
he is.
he wants to possess me because
Yeah.
he just loves me so much.
Right.
and it's like they intentionally, the girls will intentionally do
Oh, yeah.
certain things to rile that up.
Oh,
Right,
I'm
right.
gonna leave. I'm with my friend right now. We just stopped by the club real quick just to see that.
Right.
What?
Reaction.
Who
Right.
are you with?
Just to listen to two
I'm gonna
songs.
come pick you up. Because if you don't, she's like, all right, well, I'm gonna dance here all night until another guy picks me up.
Damn.
So it's like, yo, it is a headache.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had that happen?
Oh, dude, like, one of my ex girlfriend, it was too much of a headache. I don't think I slept.
Like she was just out partying all the time.
Yeah, and she lived in another country, so I was like, our time zone. She lived in Thailand. She's a
Uh-huh.
Korean girl, so, yeah, man, it was too hard.
Wait,
Damn.
too hard in the sense that you needed to talk to her, like,
No, like if it's a 2 hour time difference,
right.
if it's midnight for me, it's only 10 p.m. for
Right.
her. So if she's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the bars with my friends at 11, it's already 1
You
a.m.
couldn't stay up and
Yeah, so it's like I gotta like kind of like if she texts like, oh, I'm heading home, it's like 5 a.m. for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, 5 a.m. I'm like waking up for work, so it's really hard to like keep that going. Yeah, that was a tough one.
It's not that you wanted to do that, it's like she expected, or she kind of wanted you to
A little
be-
bit of both. I mean, I still wanted to do that.
Yeah.
To
Just
make sure that she got home.
Exactly.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I'm sure she wanted that too. If I was just like, all right, have a good time, good night, and then like didn't reply, like especially in a long distance relationship, probably wouldn't have gone much longer.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think other countries and other couples in other countries, they're not as protective and jealous? Like girls don't expect that.
well,
from
like
the
if
guys?
you think about like the system in place here, and here it is in like Asia, because a lot of Korean nightlife culture comes from Japan,
Right.
like the business culture and like the motel scene. So like in America, a motel is just a cheaper
Oh, yeah,
hotel.
Right.
You got Motel 6.
It's kind of like a bad look.
Yeah, it's just a shittier hotel.
It's where like crimes are committed.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where you go to like do drugs.
Yeah.
You can stay there for a little bit longer.
Right.
That's where all the criminals are like held. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
But in Asia, a motel for the most part is like you can just go there for like a little bit and rest.
Mm-hmm.
You can spend the night there just like a hotel, and it's
It's so
essentially a
much
place
cheaper.
to just bang somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Bang,
it's like
bang.
yeah, bang bang bang.
Mm-hmm.
So you think about where all these motels are located. They're always located near clubs. They're always located near bars. They're always located near certain areas. They're not going to be near residential places.
Right.
Nobody's going home and being like, hey, no, I'm going to stop by this motel real quick. So because of the system, because of the cheapness, because of the access to all the clubs, like in the States, if you're 35 and you're going to the clubs, something's wrong with you still. Like people are like, yo, you still going to the clubs? like unless it's like a really nice like
Right,
Las Vegas or
right.
something.
Right.
But here it's like you could be whatever and
Yeah.
still go to clubs.
Yeah,
and
that's
like
true.
there are clubs designed for certain ages.
Right.
Clubs for younger kids, clubs for older people. So I think you go, and then you have the access to a motel. You've got the excuse of like, oh, I was so drunk, I stayed at my friend's house. I think that's what really causes the possessive jealousy.
Because anything can happen.
Anything and everything can happen
Right.
for a cheap price. So it's like,
And like,
because dude, if you didn't come home
Right.
in the States, yo, someone's calling the cops.
right, right.
Like, dude, where were you? I called the cops. I was so afraid that something happened to you. If you don't come home in Korea, they're just like, they're probably out somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everything's open 24 hours
Yeah,
here.
nobody's really concerned.
Yeah.
But I wonder also, like, psychologically, not to sound too like bubblegum pop psychology, but when a guy is very possessive of a girl, or even vice versa, right? Is it always kind of raises the question for me, are they being possessive and kind of accusatory, jumping to conclusions like that because they would do that themselves if they were out and about, you know?
Yeah, it could be insecurities. Obviously, like, people have different, different motives. But insecurity is definitely something that would kind of fuel that. Like,
Sure.
where are you? Like, I can't believe you're hanging out with somebody.
Right.
But I saw this in America as well amongst Koreans and Korean Americans.
So it's like a Korean thing?
It was a Korean thing. And seriously, even amongst Korean Americans, I saw this behavior
Well, I
amongst
think,
the guys and the girls.
but in a Korean American like group setting, let's say like in LA, you got a Korean American called like group setting. I think a lot of them, it's a small community. So if it's like I'm hooking up with somebody, they all know that person, and it's like I think there's a lot of possession because it's also like we were joking around about like calling it incestual. It's like you all know each other. They all go to the same church, or you're part of the same community. So it's like, yo, I can't believe you backstabbed me, and you like, you went on a date with that
Right.
guy. That's my friend's cousin.
You hurt my reputation.
Yeah, like that's disrespecting me. I think there's a lot of that in dating in the States in your like race community, especially like a tight knit Korean community.
Because Koreans are so like prideful.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's all about reputation.
Yeah.
There's reputation, and that's actually a deeper thing. I think one of the big things that drive this country, in many respects, both good and bad, is that Korean word nunchi. It's like, how am I perceived? How am I looked at by somebody else, right? That reputation and my image, it's always like my identity is really defined by what so-and-so thinks of me and such thinks of me, right? And I think that has a lot to do with it as well, that image and that nunchi. And so it's like, I can't be disrespected. I gotta like really put my foot down and be more possessive and overtly aggressive towards, in this relationship to show that I'm the man or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen that possession thing work the other way too, where the girls were very possessive of the guys.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. If a girl is possessive, it is kind of a little nice.
It's
Like,
nice.
not like you know.
So I guess this is why it happens.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I totally see it because if you've ever dated a girl that's like, so like the most, like I think passion and crazy are like two interchangeable words. Like if a girl is like really crazy about you and passionate about you, when you break up, you're gonna be like, yo, that girl was crazy. I can't believe like the shit I had to do for her. But then like during it, you're like, yo, man, this girl's crazy. I like her. Like that crazy is like, I'm not gonna say a certain race. Yeah, I am. My friend's Vietnamese, and like he's always talking about like Vietnamese girls are very like passionate. We'll use the word passionate, crazy. And
They're very loving.
yeah, so like they're gonna be very like, where are you? Who are you with? And like he's like, yo, that craziness is kind of nice because the exact same thing. It's like I feel like,
I'm being wanted.
yeah, this girl.
It's all a sense of like
Yeah,
being
wanted,
appreciated.
by the opposite sex.
It really is.
And I think that's what happens when you're like in a relationship for a long time. If someone's like, hey, I'm gonna go out, you're like, have fun.
Yeah.
And there's no like
Right.
that like, yo, who you going out with?
Yeah, it's like, oh,
Like, why you dressed so nice? Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
stay as long as you can.
Yeah, exactly. You go out, I'm going out too. And then like that passion starts to, like, I guess dissipate because
Mhm.
you start to misunderstand. Like trust is so strong that you start misunderstanding that trust as lack of passion.
Right. Right.
Lack of passion. Like it's now getting like disinterested.
Yeah, but I think it's the trust though. Like if you trust like your
Right.
significant other so much, if they're like, oh, I'm going out to a club
Yeah.
and I'm going out with 10 dudes,
Yeah.
you'd still probably be like, no, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But if you trust them like undyingly, you'd probably
Yeah.
be like, yeah, it's alright.
Have fun.
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah.
But then,
It doesn't mean that you
Exactly.
don't love them as
Right,
much.
right.
yeah.
Right.
But if you're just dating and that girl's like, hey, I'm going out with 10 dudes, you're like, it's gonna be 11 because I'm coming with you. You know, like it just won't happen.
I'm bringing 11 girls.
So, with all that talk, like, do you think it's easier to date the opposite sex? Sorry, not the opposite sex. Obviously,
Yes.
it's easier
Yes.
to date.
Yeah,
the
it
opposite
is.
sex.
Yeah.
Is it easier to date people from other races?
Like interracial.
Interracial, yeah. Yeah, for
Um,
us, like interracial would be, yeah, obviously. Not
I guess
Asian.
we've all dated other races.
I've dated white girls.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, yeah, me
Oh,
too.
different Asian ethnicities too.
I've only dated white girls and yeah, Korean
Yeah.
girls. So, what about you?
I've dated.
He kissed a kindergartner.
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
first
yeah.
white,
If,
so-
if you count that as white, then that's probably like the only white girl I dated for less than 1 day.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly.
And he turned her in for a tire.
That was
Talk about lack of passion, bro.
that was a monster truck Goodyear tire, man. It was good stuff. No, yeah, mostly Korean, and strangely the Hapa girls like mixed,
What? What is that?
like
half Asian.
half Asian,
Oh.
half white, half French, half German,
Half
or-
Asian, half crazy is what it means.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
but yeah, and so some of those Hapa girls, they identified more with their non-Asian side. Some,
For the most part, their like dad would be, their moms would be Asian.
actually, I was in my case, it was kind of half and half. Not to say that I keep a tally of it, but some were really like
Asian, like
pro-Asian.
dads.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is like Asian dads
Mhm.
with white moms,
hmm
or Asian moms with white dads.
It's both.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's why like it was kind of random where Asian mom and then the girl identified more with her mom's side, or Asian dad and she identified with her dad's side. Whatever the case, right? It was just really case by case, basically. So it was mostly Koreans, and then I guess second would be mostly mixed.
Now that I think about it, though, looking back, all those white girls, like, they were just as jealous as the Korean girls.
Were they?
Yeah,
Huh.
Well,
in my experiences, that they were.
maybe that's a
Were they
Jersey
jealous?
thing.
Were they
No,
jealous?
no, there was some Tulane.
Were they
New
jealous
Orleans.
because of other Asian girls though?
No,
They're just jealous of the just girls in general.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, like other girls.
I can see like I've had white girlfriends that were like jealous of Asian girls because that
Because-
was something that they can't do.
They can't
They can't be
Oh.
an Asian girl,
Right.
and like they know like the Asian family like structure.
Right,
And
right.
it's like they can't compete with that.
Right, right.
And then as they get older, and Asian girls are looking fine,
Mhm.
they're like it starts really messing with like, shoot, I'm getting older,
Right.
and these Asian girls are looking like
Younger.
still young
Yeah.
at the same age.
Yeah.
So I know there's a lot of issues of like insecurity from like my white girlfriends
Mhm.
because of other girls.
Wait, so you knew when you dated a white girl, right?
Yes.
Was it within a very mixed environment? And this is the same question for you too, Chris. Like, were these girls, exposed more to Asian guys, right? So,
No.
No, I was their first Asian.
so what actually,
Same.
then how did it come about? Like, what was
Bro,
it?
actually, if a girl, if guys and I was her like sixth Asian boyfriend, I probably wouldn't date her.
Right.
Same.
That's a serial killer right there.
Yeah.
She's got a type,
Uh-huh.
So
and I
have
don't
you-
want to be a type.
Have you guys,
Some
have
get
you
out
ever
shit.
talked to your exes during that time of like, or ever wonder like why did that happen? Because like, again, like we've mentioned this before, it was very rare to see an Asian guy date a Caucasian girl, right? So in your cases, both of you,
I never asked.
What's the question? Ask them what.
or just talked about, or even in your mind, it's like, yeah, I'm a stud, you know, I'm good looking or whatever, but why that girl, how you guys came to be, right? Because you would have stood out,
I think humor was a big part of attracting a white girl, though.
okay?
Like, I don't think they were like specifically interested. At least my ex girlfriend that was white. I don't think she was specifically interested in Asian people, because if she was, she would have dated other Asian guys. But I think it was just the humor that she was like, oh, this guy's funny, and he happens to be Asian. So yeah, I think that was the bigger sell versus anything. So I don't think I ever felt like, oh, I'm such a stud that I have a white girlfriend.
Did
Yeah,
that
so-
humor translate over to, say, Asian girls or Korean girls?
Yeah, that's the thing is, I don't think so. That's probably why I didn't really have a lot of like, Asian friends or Asian girlfriends. Because that humor doesn't like. We grew up in the States. Like your American humor is a little bit, you know, a lot of sarcasm.
Right.
You know, dashing a little bit of racism in there, and like all that like roughness of the East Coast humor
Yeah.
doesn't work well against like the people that aren't used to that. It's too harsh. It's too abrasive. So they'll be like, "Oh my God, this guy's like a little harsh," but like if you know it's a joke, it's
Right.
funny because it's like they know there's no ill intent in any of the comment. So it's like, oh, that statement. You find humor in the darkness, I guess.
So the humor was the thing for you.
For me, yeah, I don't know
What about you?
Surprisingly, my physique.
bro. It was that Porsche Cayenne.
I'm not.
The physique of the Cayenne, right?
The physique of the no.
Of that
yeah.
white Cayenne.
Well, yeah.
Well, my first girlfriend, while I was driving that car, like, she didn't even know what it was.
That's good, yeah.
She didn't know. Like, I think I remember us talking about it once. How she has like noticed that like other people
Commented?
would comment on it or something, like not directly to her, but like she would hear, and you know she just had no idea, like even if it was a good car
But
or like
those comments must be nice comments, right? So whether she knew about cars or not,
Right.
it's
It
like
did-
it's
am I-
upping your status in
Right,
a way.
right,
Yeah,
right.
but not necessarily a nice comment because if you think about high school, there's a lot
Yeah,
of
actually,
haters.
there's a
They
lot
could
of
have
jealousy.
easily been like,
yeah.
"Oh, she's just chasing money. Like, why else would she be
Right.
riding on an Asian dude? Like,
Right.
she just wants that cash."
Damn, I hope they were saying that.
You know,
No,
like,
but she ended up dating him, right? She
Right.
ended up dating you. So
Yeah.
but those comments are coming after.
after, yeah, I mean,
Right, I mean, yeah, about the cars, like that's way after.
Right, right.
That's
Okay,
like way
okay.
after we've been dating.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Um,
I kind of think that there was some before.
I mean, maybe it's possible.
But anyways,
that
yeah.
piece of hair right here.
Thank you.
Your physique.
Yeah, no, like
Like
I
your
know
height.
my height, and surprisingly, I know, like very surprising, but in high school I was like
Yeah.
very fit, and
Not surprised.
I
I had seen it.
I was
You've
I
seen
was
Oh, man,
on the
the
track
family members.
team, and I used to work out like 3 hours a day, and so I think what it was like, you know how like Asian stereotypes with
Yeah.
Asian males being less physically superior, less capable, like
More
you know,
bookworm.
right, bookworm. Like I think it helped that I wasn't. This is so strange. It helped that I wasn't, you know, like
Smart.
a nerd. That I wasn't like, you know, at the top of my
yeah. Humor.
humor.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
and it helped that I was a decent athlete.
Yeah.
Were you?
That's for sure.
So then,
Same here.
in you guys' East Coast side, were the majority of the Asian men, Asian guys,
Yeah.
were they more
Math and science, bro. That's it. Math and science.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
So like what we see on like Spider-Man: Homecoming,
Like,
like,
yeah,
the
like-
chess club.
But you
and-
think about it, like if Asians immigrated to the States, they immigrated to LA earlier than they did to the East Coast.
Yes,
So you're gonna have more like
Head Start.
Asians with head start getting acclimated to the American customs, whereas the Asians on the East Coast, they probably went to New York first, Georgia, Northern Virginia. They just kept kind of New Jersey, kind of flooding that East Coast area.
Right.
So you have more immigrant. Like I said, when I was in high school, most of the Asian kids were like immigrants. They're all fobs, fresh out the boat, straight to high school, very little English. So like they can only succeed in a numbers game,
Right.
like math.
Right.
They're good at math, and they're like they can't do
Or like an
English.
art game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're all either artists, photographers, or mathematicians, or like science geeks, and that's it. And for science, it was only like chemistry.
No, this is odd because in say like my generation, right, my friends and guys who are older, right, say by a few years, they're Korean American or Asian American, right, very successful, but yeah, I could tell like they may play basketball now, pickup ball, but they weren't that in high school, right?
Mhm.
So even as a born and raised in the U.S. from the East Coast, Asian or Korean American guys, right, were much more studious than, say, in general,
In
than
general.
than the West Coast.
Yeah, I don't know about studious, but I would just say less into extracurricular activities.
Yeah,
Because you can't do extracurricular activities if your parents don't know how to sign you up, or if you don't know the rules of football, you don't know the rules of basketball. Like, you haven't played those sports growing up. Like, your parents are immigrants for a reason. They immigrated either a war-torn country, or they like left a hardship to go somewhere.
no, but I mean,
So
as much as we were immigrants, my parents were immigrants, and I was too at a very young age. Like, my mom, she barely spoke English. She signed me up for flag football, for baseball, for soccer. I mean, she put me out there, right?
that's probably for daycare, right?
No, I mean, she was driving me
Like,
and
granted,
the
she's-
neighborhood kids like around, and same with the other parents, right?
She's
I mean,
also probably an exception, though.
Yeah, that's an exception.
but it was
because
Most
actually
Asian kids.
across the board, dude. I mean,
that's pretty
seriously.
rare, especially
Yeah.
for your time period in LA.
It is
Like,
pretty rare.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. So that's why, like, is this an East Coast West Coast thing?
Maybe.
Where because
I don't know.
a lot of the guys that I grew up with who were Korean or Asian Americans,
Like, those guys
were
didn't.
very athletic.
Yeah, but those guys didn't grow up in the stores that their parents were owning.
Some did.
That's the thing in it. I mean, on the East
Some,
Coast,
some even went to
after
work.
school?
After school,
you just
yeah.
went straight to the nail salon. You went straight to the grocery store, and you did homework in the office.
Yeah.
Because there is no go play basketball after
And
school.
then on the weekend, but these guys did, where they
I went straight to practice.
Yeah.
With the girls.
cheerleading.
cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Nah,
The base.
It was a guy-girl team. I was on the track team.
No, but, like, you guys would have stood out if you were
Right, yeah.
more athletic, extracurricular activities versus the majority of what Asian guys, what people see a typical average Asian guy on the East Coast
Mhm.
when you guys are in school
Mhm.
are very studious, artsy, photography, whatever, right?
Mhm.
On the West Coast, as much as there were the studious type, there were equally, or if not more, who were athletics or who were gangbangers, right?
Right.
Or, yeah, so there was much
Yeah.
more extracurricular activities.
I would say athletics
Helps.
a lot. I mean, it helps you make male friends.
For
who-
sure. It'll help
uh,
you.
or
get
in
Sure,
high school
for
and
sure.
in middle school, it helps you
That's your
make male
pride.
friends who are
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah.
Because like
the jocks.
the jocks are usually the most popular kids in school.
Yeah.
And then that kind of brings up your status as well. And then you being like one of the only Asian kids who are like, competing with these kids, that you have to stand out.
And I think also being an Asian quote unquote jock in that group, you're also gonna have a better like verbal game
Right.
in terms of like making fun of people
Right.
because you've got the competitive edge of like being a minority, number one, but also like you're not gonna fight your friends.
Right.
But when they call you whatever, like, yo,
Yeah.
you Asian kid,
Yeah, yeah.
you're gonna be like, yo, you white bread.
Yeah.
You're gonna like hit them back with something.
Right.
So your humor develops as a like self defense mechanism. Plus you play sports.
Sure.
Mhm.
So you end up having a little bit of a competitive edge to people that are already open-minded to it.
So then for Union, how did any of that translate over when you came over to Korea? And say you got like a Korean girlfriend.
It honestly, I think it helped. It didn't help me at first because I was just, it was so different here. Like I remember, you know how like culturally, like even in the States, you just walk by someone, you say hi. I think I mentioned this to Chris before. You lock eyes with someone and you just say hey, hello, right?
Right.
Like what's up, what's going on?
You do that here, you're a creep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I got here and I used to do that because you just lock eyes with someone on the subway. I was like, oh, like what's going on? Like, hey, what's going on? And like usually it could be
What's going
girls
on,
or
huh?
guys, and the girls, they were just like, almost like they gave
Yeah.
me like a disgusted face,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what the.
Because
So
there's so
dirty.
much.
Yeah, like I'm like whoa, like
There's
what
so
was
many
that?
scams going on. So if like you say hi to somebody, they're probably like, oh, he wants me to join his religion, or he wants
Yeah,
to sell
I
me
mean-
something. You know.
Yeah,
So I totally hear you on that. That is.
there was one time at club at the
Oh,
on
Happy
New
New
Year's.
Year.
On New Year's, it was like Happy New Year, like, and then there was like. I think Chris or someone was,
Yeah,
was
it
to
was
yell
me
at me.
too,
I was like,
like-
Happy New Year. And then like there was a girl that I didn't know to the right. I was like, Happy New Year. And remember that look she gave me?
She like, huh?
She's like,
Huh?
yeah, what the F? Like,
Yeah.
it made me feel
That's
some
so
type
normal.
of way.
Like in the States, it's not only normal to say Happy New Year to somebody. You
Oh my
can probably
God,
kiss them and hug them.
Yeah.
And that, like, imagine if you did that. Happy New
Oh
Year.
my
New Year.
God.
She'd be like, yo, get the.
Dude, but that little pose and that look that you gave, to me is
That's
like
playing hard to get.
it's so Korea. But yeah, it's hard to
Maybe.
get.
Yo,
but
you
also
should have just been
so
like, I
Korean.
said Happy New Year.
Hey.
Yeah.
You gotta keep
Yeah,
going, man.
that's what
So
it was.
when my friend Andy came, again, he's the Vietnamese guy, but when he came here, we went to a club, and we had a room. So like a lot of people were really looking at us. He's a shorter guy. I mean, he's Vietnamese, so he's really shorter. And this girl was like, yo, nothing about this girl was saying I'm coming here to dance with my friends. She had on like, I think she had on rag. That's it.
Skimpy clothing.
Just a tiny little rag on her body, like
It's like a
this-
towel, right?
it was so small, and like even if you're not interested, there's no way you could not look. It's like a car accident.
Yeah.
And this girl, she was a pretty good dancer, so she's like dancing right at the front
Yep.
of our room, which usually means like, hey, come get me and pull me in. I'm tired. I want to sit or I'm interested. So I told him I'm like pushing my friend, and number one, if he fails, I'm gonna laugh. Number two, if he succeeds, I'm gonna laugh too. It's gonna
Yeah.
either way, I'm getting humor out of this. So I'm like egging him on, and he likes to dance too. So he's like dancing on her hard, like American hip hop club style, just
Yeah, yeah.
grinding on her, like
Yeah.
grabbing her hips, and she's like reciprocating.
Yep.
And I'm like, whoa, it's working. Like,
Wow.
he just went straight in, and then she turns around, and like she notices that when she turns around, she doesn't see him because he's shorter. He's like
Oh,
shorter
she
than
didn't
her.
see him yet. Oh,
Yeah, he just grabbed her
Right,
from
right,
behind.
right, right.
So when she turned around, she looked at him, saw the brown skin, and like noticed that he wasn't like pale Korean, 6 feet.
Yeah.
She immediately, oh, dude, the face, like the disgusting face, she like shoot her away like she got hit with like a disease, and she was like,
Oh,
ugh.
man.
And my friend was like, hey man, he sat down, he's like, yeah, let's go home.
Oh, really?
He was-
Oh, he was hurt.
He was hurt big time.
Dude. Because he was trying hard. He was pulling out all his dance moves.
Yeah, yeah. And he was like, dude, I don't need to go to club again.
That's
Oh,
so,
Yeah, man.
that's kind of sad.
But I don't know. I mean, this is a little bit off topic, but I've seen that, and friends have told me about it. Like, there's a certain air to Korean girls.
I mean,
Also, because Koreans are so racist.
very.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
not just to Indy and say like someone from another country or someone who may be a little shorter, but just in general. I mean, my guy friends who are single will tell me this a lot, and these are guys actually around your age too, and they tell me that, man, Korean girls are stuck up. So I don't know. I mean, you guys would know better just being out there more, but there's a definite air to them.
I think it depends on where you are too.
Like some of the girls the women who've traveled a little bit more cultured, right?
Right.
A bit more open-minded. Not so much, but I guess like these guys, they go to clubs in Gangnam, right?
Yeah. Those guys, like,
Sometimes in Itaewon, that's the one that surprised me, is like, I've met up like, I'll be at a bar or something, and then they come and join me. They're like, oh yeah, we were at this club, and and they would talk, and I'm like, why are these girls playing hard to get, et cetera, blah blah blah, whatever, right? Not to say they're bad-looking guys or anything like that, but it's just to have a conversation, or just to have a drink together, or just to have a little dance together, or whatever, in a club setting, right? Which are natural things to do.
Mhm.
It's just like, yeah, they just find it really tough to crack through and kind of communicate or just kind of connect with a Korean girl.
I don't know, man. Like coming from DC, all my friends say how stuck up the girls are there. Like, not just girls, but just people in general. Like, if you're in a power city, like Washington D.C. is very like powerful. It's like who you know and like where you work. I think that stuck upness is more of that than because my friends are like, dude, I cannot date anybody in Washington D.C. Like the first thing they look at is your car, and then the second thing is what do you do for work?
That sounds like LA.
It's the same thing
New
here
York.
too.
Yeah.
So, but like at the same time, like yo, if you're a girl that's like an 8, 9, or 10,
I guess.
I'd be like, dude, how much is in your bank account?
That's true.
Like you'd be doing the
Ow,
same
ow,
thing. You're
ow.
trying to nest up. You're not trying to,
I guess if I was put in their shoes,
yeah.
yeah.
Why not?
Because I got all these
If you have these choices,
suitors.
yeah, you got 100 suitors. Why
Yeah.
settle for
Right.
some dude that's like not that great?
Yeah, that's true.
It was like, how
I
would you
feel that.
know? Like without, even giving them the time of day.
Show me your
with,
bank account.
That's how you know.
like with Andy,
Yeah.
right? In that scenario,
Well-
like, how would the girl know that whether he's a decent guy or not, right?
I think she just didn't like how he looked, right?
Yeah, it's probably just too short. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well,
that's another thing here. I mean,
height.
that must be everywhere.
Oh my goodness,
Like,
height
girls-
is
height's-
huge.
Height's kind of universal though.
Yeah,
No,
it is
not so
universal.
much here. The height here is. If
They don't
it's-
even like.
Yo,
You're
people
not
are
a guy.
they're fake things.
Oh, I've
Right,
seen that.
right.
So
yeah.
that's not
That's like
normal in
really
any other
Korean
country.
thing. Yeah.
Like you don't see if height was that big of a deal in the States, everybody would be putting
Right.
those souls in.
Right.
You know? So I
Even
think
yeah,
it is a deal,
Mhm.
but like when you like it's a bigger deal here.
yeah.
The height.
No,
even
it's huge.
even with all
Because you can
all
be
that going
fat
on.
as long as you're tall.
Right, right,
What?
right. That's true.
Oh, for
that's
sure.
Facts.
Facts.
Because
As long as you're tall, they don't care how much you weigh. A lot of girls like bigger guys, like
yeah,
big, heavy, as
Like,
long as
a
they're
little
tall.
bit chubbier.
even
I'm not saying
as
chubby. I'm saying big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
Like John style.
As long as he's 6'3".
he is pretty tall.
Yeah.
I think the average height is continually
Oh,
increasing.
for sure.
But like all my girlfriends have like friends that are girls have told me like it's to them like they're not even guys. If they're shorter than them,
Oh yeah.
they don't even look at them
Emasculated.
like
Yeah.
as a person of
It's
the
a
opposite
twin
sex.
It's
Yeah,
a younger brother.
it's just like it's a girl.
It's a gnat. It's a
Yeah.
fly
Yeah.
flying around you.
That's what they said. Every single one. They're
So-
like, if they're shorter than me, then I can't date them. They don't
What
look
if
like
they're like an inch or two taller than them?
I don't. Probably not because if they have to wear heels, that means
That's
they're
the problem. Yeah,
shorter
that's
than
5 inches shorter now.
them. So you have to be at
4
least
inch
like a
heels.
decent 5'6".
You gotta clear their heels then.
Yeah, something's gonna happen.
Wow.
Dude, who are these volleyball players dating then? These girls that are 6'2"?
The basketball players.
Well, seriously,
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's
it.
the case.
The basketball
Shit,
players.
I mean, the basketball players are probably running around with girls that are like 5'2".
Yeah.
Man, there's probably like
So height is so big
it's
for girls.
huge. Yeah. Is height important for you for a girl?
No.
Not. I mean,
Like, you can't go with
I don't
like-
want two extremes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
She can't be like 4'5" and she can't be 6'10".
4'5", bro. I think that's illegal.
That's a legal midget, right?
yeah.
No, I think even like
Yeah.
age-wise.
Yeah, age-wise, 4'5" is probably like a 10-year-old.
No, she could be like
Yeah.
whatever.
A 60-year-old 4'5".
But as long as it's
Yeah,
in that
somewhere
area,
in between.
not too.
Yeah.
As long as she's not taller than me, like, then I was.
Does
like,
that? Oh, well, if you can't.
See, I think that
But
must
you
be-
can't say the opposite of these girls don't see guys that are shorter as guys. If you
Right.
see a girl that's taller than you,
and
do
I
you
don't
not
see them
her
as girls.
a girl?
But also, I'm 6'2", so I think that's different.
Yeah,
if
for
I was
sure.
5'6" and she
Yeah.
was taller than me,
At
like
5'8".
yeah,
Yeah.
well, like if talking about like 6'3",
6'4".
6'4" girls,
Yeah,
like
that's a big girl.
yeah,
that's extreme.
Yeah, that's
What if
extreme.
she's incredibly attractive? Like,
Hey.
like she's model, and I mean, like just her style, but she's
Hey, are you sweating a little bit?
like 2-3 inches taller than you.
I don't know.
It's all good, bro. It's all good.
I don't know.
What
I
if
mean-
it's your, like a girl that you totally dig or you're dating now,
Mm.
but she's just like 3 inches taller than you?
Wow. Damn,
It's
that's
too much. I think it's too much.
yeah, dude. She'd be 6'5". She'd be
I'm
probably
just-
dunking.
And
She'd
like,
be out rebounding me.
and
What's
she's gonna be
going on?
putting her hand like over your shoulder.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah, I
Because
guess I
there's
would
still
kind
a
of feel
little bit of
emasculated.
exactly. There's a little bit of like, oh man, I can't protect this
Maybe
girl.
I'm being hypocritical.
A little
I said
bit.
that before. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I am.
But I think that's normal though.
Yeah,
I don't think it's like that hypocritical. I think it's more normal for guys to think like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
So Korean girls are into height.
Oh,
Height's like a
huge.
big thing.
huge. As
So-
much as we are into
What
their
about
looks.
skin color? Like a pale Asian versus dark Asian.
I think in Korea that differs by country as well,
For sure.
for sure. But
Because,
in
like,
Korea,
if you think
pale
about, like,
wins.
There are a lot of Korean guys that have no problems dating a Southeast Asian girl.
Yeah.
But there are not a lot of Korean girls that are like down
Right.
to date Southeast Asian
Right.
guys.
Mm.
So it's like, I mean, it could be a skin pigment thing, but it could also be a cultural thing. It can be whatever, the country. The stuck up thing that you're talking about, like, I know there was a time here where, like, a lot of Korean people didn't want to eat food coming from a country that had a lesser GDP, a poorer country. It's like, why would I
Crazy.
pay money for Mexican food if that country is poorer than me?
When was this?
That's why, like, a lot of Mexican restaurants didn't do well here when it first came.
Wow.
That's why a lot of pho restaurants,
Yeah,
like, pho was here a long time ago.
Right, I
They
remember.
all failed. They became chains. The only way they could succeed is by having a huge company pump money into them,
Yeah.
and they just withstood the slow drain.
Yeah.
But now it's like people are going to Southeast Asia, and they're like, "Whoa, I can do more for less money," and it's pretty nice. The people are nice, the food's nice. Like I think they're getting more exposure to traveling abroad.
Right.
So it's like, so I can eat this food. It's good, but like, I still see it in terms of dating though. Like I don't see a lot of Korean girls dating Southeast Asian guys.
True.
Just from the sheer number of compliments that even I've received from girls.
Your white skin.
Yeah, on like me being, I'm not like too pale, but like I guess I am more paler than normal.
You're
Koreans.
white, dude.
Am I?
Yeah.
Then like
But
just
no-
from that, then I can assume that this is like
A
a
good
good thing here.
And then I get the exact opposite comments of, "Oh, you're so dark," but it's not like, "Oh, you're so dark. Where did you go?" Like
Yeah.
amazing. It's like,
Where did you go?
Yeah,
Where did, oh,
when
you got
did you
so
last
tan.
shower?
yeah. It's more like, "Oh, you're so dark." Gross. And not only that, but they're like, "Oh, you're so hairy and dark." Oh yeah.
Wait. Are they referring to your beard or your
Everything, facial hair, like
Is
my
that
legs.
is that a thing here? Like, do they
Oh.
care about that in dating?
Hair?
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a hairy chest, it's okay to have hairy legs.
Uh huh.
But if you've got like hair anywhere else on your torso,
They don't like that.
They don't like that.
They don't like
Yeah.
that.
But there's not a lot of Asian guys that have like,
Too much.
sweater hair on their chest. But yeah, like, I mean, shoot, we've got 50% of the same DNA.
Yeah.
So, but like at the same time, like, I'm pretty dark compared to him,
Right.
and he's way taller than me.
Yeah.
So it's like the girls that are like attracted to me are probably like different than the girls that are attracted
That's
to him.
true.
Right.
That's true.
Right. Yeah. You,
Like I'm a superstar in Southeast Asia, and he is too, but for different reasons.
different reasons.
They're like, he's a superstar in Southeast Asia probably because they like K-pop.
Exactly.
I'm a superstar in Southeast
You're
Asia
local.
because like, he's a local boy
Local
that
boy,
speaks,
man.
that speaks English, bro. I go to
Local boy.
I could get into any immigration line, nobody complains. I'll go to Japan. I'll
Except
say-
Korea.
Yeah, except Korea. They're like, "Oh, sir, you're over there." I'm like, "Nick." I do.
Do they really do that to you?
Dude, if I go to Myeongdong, nobody speaks Korean to me. It's Japanese, Chinese, or
Right.
like whatever other language.
Yeah. That's
It looks
true.
like every other Asian
Yeah.
race.
As soon as I get into a cab and I say Korean, they're like, "Oh," they look back and they're like, "Yo, your Korean's good."
Oh yeah.
I'm
Same.
like, "Thanks."
Same. Yeah.
Thanks, I'm Korean.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
No, but what about any references to your beard?
Like girls?
Yeah, from girls.
Not really. Mostly, like guys are more interested in facial hair than
True.
girls.
True. That's true.
Like a lot of guys, like, "Oh, I'm so jealous. I wish I could grow facial
Oh,
hair."
right.
Like girls here, like clean shaven.
Yeah.
Like without a doubt. I really like don't see a lot of girls who are like, "Oh, I like facial hair in a guy." I think they like guys that may have the capability to grow facial hair,
Right.
but they want it shaven.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think clean is better here, I think.
oh yeah, clean. So that's why
Perceived,
pale.
not better, but perceived as
Right.
better. Yeah.
Because it's that perception. Yeah, it's like
Right.
pale skin.
Yeah.
You're in the higher
Yeah. You can just tell by all like the
celebrities.
cosmetics and
Oh, yeah,
celebrities,
yeah,
like
yeah.
all their ads and
Yeah.
stuff, they're always like emphasizing on
Right.
that paler
Is it
skin.
changing though with like, the hip hop culture like
I think
coming
so.
in here?
I mean, like,
It's like imagine if you're super pale
yeah.
like you, and you're doing hip
It's not
hop.
very hip hop.
Right, but if
Yeah.
you're like dark
Yeah.
and you're doing hip hop, they're like,
That's
"Oh,
it.
is he black? I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Like, I think I like him." You
Yeah,
know?
that's true.
It gives you more street cred
Right,
because
right.
you came from the street.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Really? Like
Yeah.
even as an Asian or a Korean hip hopper?
I
I
feel
feel
like
like it
it-
would help.
You think about the popular like Jessie O.
Right,
She's
right,
pretty
right,
dark.
Right. But I think
You know,
that's
that guy Sam D, he's pretty dark,
Yeah,
isn't he?
No,
He's
not
a little
too
older.
dark. But I don't think that's her normal skin.
No,
is it?
she
got
tans,
tan, right?
yeah.
No, but did those people, did they actually grow up, hard or?
Oh, but it doesn't have to. That's like the
Yeah.
old way of I think hip hop of growing up hard to get
Yeah.
your influence. Now it's like, you have kids with dreads.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
I
it
mean,
doesn't
it's
matter, right?
not really about skin color though.
I don't know.
I mean,
think-
you
I
can-
think
you can
that
speak to it
the
more.
image.
It's image. Yeah.
I mean, this really, really famous rapper, 21 Savage, he's black. He's just black. But this was like pretty big news. I don't know how it went on since last week, but he turned out like he was like hood, like all his
Oh,
songs
don't
are about
tell
like
me.
hood, savage,
Yeah.
savage. And I think he still is. But it just came out that he's a UK citizen,
yeah.
and people were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like I
It
thought you're from
undoes his street cred.
right. Like I thought you're from Atlanta. What
Yeah.
happened to all the gangbanging in
Yeah.
Atlanta?
Yeah.
Now like all of a sudden you have an accent. Like,
Right.
people are like, what's
He's
going
proper.
on? Like,
Oh, but
yeah.
at the same time, you got some tough streets in the UK.
Right,
But people
exactly.
don't equate,
Yeah,
because in America, you equate that accent as high class.
yeah, high class.
Highbrow,
Yeah.
high
Like
class.
Harry Potter,
Right.
like
Educated.
the Queen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Middle Earth.
yeah.
Middle
Middle Earth,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So he's been getting a lot of shit for that.
Oh, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
it is image, and that's why skin color is part of their image,
Right.
you know?
No, but for Korea, for Asia, for here, like you need a skin color. Does it matter?
I don't think it's going to matter, but at the
Right.
same time, if you have
It might look
a
more
super
hip-hop.
pale kid with dreads and a dark kid with dreads, who are you going to believe more? If they're both Asian.
It's true.
I don't know. That just seems so.
It's like a
Like
You're
Jeremy
going on,
Jeremy
though.
Lin with dreads. Remember
I
when?
know,
yeah.
yeah. But I mean,
It's
he
like-
grew his hair long.
Yeah.
But,
imagine,
yeah, so yeah.
imagine if Jeremy Lin was like dark
Asian.
Asian.
Yeah. Then you'd be like, yo, yeah.
They might be like, oh, he might have some black in
right.
him. Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Well, let's just take that then. Same skill sets, same performance, right?
But it's image, yeah.
It's image. Image is so important.
It's important.
I know image is important, but even for Korea, they're going to kind of quote unquote accept you more or like you more, because you
But presentation is everything. Even in food, if I were to serve you a burrito
right.
and it looks like shit, but it tastes the same as burrito B,
Yeah.
but it's presented nicely, you're gonna Instagram it. You're gonna say it's more aromatic. And
What I'm trying to ask or kind of get to then is the hip hop world here, the fans here, would like you more or be more fans of you because you were a little darker.
If I was dark, would they
if
like
you were
me more?
Yeah.
that would have to be a marketing study, right?
Yeah,
Research.
Yeah, I can't say for sure, but it's possible.
Like if you had fantastic flow, you like were really good at what you did, right? The songs and things you put out are really good, but then they see you and it's like this porcelain dude, right? This guy who actually should be in the K-pop side of things. I think that's actually more kind of like a, what do you call it? Just kind of more of a surprise, right? But yeah, I'm just trying to think like
That would be like Eminem, like when
Yeah.
Dr. Dre first heard Eminem, he thought he was a
Right.
black guy. And
Right.
he was like, well, he's white.
Right.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, that was his, like, breakthrough.
yeah.
Like, he was the exception. Like, there weren't a lot of white guys flowing like that.
Right.
But, like, in Korea, if all the hip-hop artists are pale and the exception is a dark guy, you're going to be like, yo, that dark guy flows as equally as that pale guy. Then that Punjun is going to be the dark guy that flows, because that's the exception.
Wow.
Don't you think?
I think so.
That's some inception right there. That was a lot of,
Our exception.
I'm just trying to,
like,
yeah.
if you're a celebrity here, let's say, going back to, like, I guess dating and stuff, if you come out and you're like, oh, I have a girlfriend, you probably instantly start losing probably female fans. So, like, you keep that quiet.
That's a huge thing.
It's
here.
huge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's enormous.
So-
yeah.
I don't understand that though.
I think it's that desirability of, like, oh, I can still get that guy.
There's no way they
Yo,
actually believe
when
that,
Miranda
though.
Kerr, like, got married,
And
I
her-
remember you being like, no.
Yeah, but like,
Did you really think you could get with?
Oh,
No,
for sure
absolutely.
he did.
no, I didn't. Absolutely not. But like, that's me being like
A fan.
a fan, and also
exactly
like, yeah, like I thought it'd be funny, like but like I'm not like really hurt. I'm not gonna dislike her. I dislike her now.
Whoa, take it
Sh-
easy.
yeah.
Watch your words.
Yeah, I'm like, I just think she used to be a lot finer. But what was I saying?
Yeah, so like, he had Miranda Kerr popping his
Yeah,
head.
I was like,
thing.
I was just thinking of the image that there's a magazine I have, and it's at home, and like she looks good there. So
Yeah, yeah.
I got lost for a second.
But like, you would think like if Miranda Kerr, like, you know, when she's still married?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't even know. But so,
Oh, right.
go ahead.
I wouldn't not be a fan of her.
You
Just
wouldn't
because
not be a fan.
I wouldn't stop being a fan of her
just
just
'cause
because
she
she
got
got married. Yeah.
But let's say at the same time there was another Victoria's Secret model that is equally as hot,
Uh-huh.
and she's single,
Uh-huh.
and she's throwing up Instagram videos of herself like, I'm on the beach with my girlfriends.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna still like her photos more
Uh-huh.
than Miranda Kerr. Like, look at my hubby, and like I'm cooking, and I got my
Uh-huh.
baby here. So even though you're equally as a fan, your reaction to the single girl is probably gonna be a little bit more different than the
But,
fan
yeah.
reaction, right?
Yeah, I think that's possible. But I like here, she wouldn't lose that many fans. You know what I mean? Like her, having like a boyfriend or getting married, that dip in fans wouldn't be as drastic as here, I believe. Because like your value goes down so much once you know.
Yeah, a lot
once
of
it's known.
celebrities
Yeah.
like retire
Yeah.
when they get married, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of their end.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
so
Like
crazy.
actresses,
true.
I guess. Yeah.
Actresses mostly.
Because they're like, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice my career for
Right.
my family now.
I feel like if you're a real fan, you should be saying that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's odd. I don't know like how to make of it, but it is what it is here, right?
Mhm.
In that respect.
Yeah.
And it's been a game that the celebrities and musicians have been playing for a long time, right? They keep their what do you call it, their marital status or their love life kind of private, even if they have it.
Yeah.
And then also age. I don't know about now, but back in the day, age was a big thing where they came out anywhere from 3 to 5 years younger than their real age,
Mhm.
right? And again, it's just like want to extend the longevity of your career, right? But also like broaden that base of fans to include some young fans as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess it's just a product of the system. Wait, so then, I mean, kind of sorry to keep going back to this,
No,
but
yeah.
would you want to get darker for your hip hop career here?
No, not necessarily. I mean,
It's about image, though.
yeah, I don't know. I guess I never thought about it, but
You can't tan. You get red.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
seen
trying.
you like try to get a tan.
I have
mean,
a
I got that
friend
nasty
that
thing.
was saying like he was looking at your Instagram and you know him, Junie. He was like, "Yo, man, I want to be Unil's Instagram manager," because he was like, if he wants to go to like a hip hop career,
yeah,
like he needs to manage his account to make it more like
look more hip hop.
yeah. And I was like, oh, it's kind of interesting
Yeah,
because he was like, yo, he's got a picture of like a golfer on there. He's like, yo, that's not hip hop. And I was like, no, that's not hip hop that we grew up with.
right,
Like, it can still be hip hop today.
right.
It doesn't have to be that.
right.
And I think that's what a lot of people, especially the older generation, is like hip hop has to come from the street. It has to be
Right.
like it has to come from somewhere. Like it has
Yeah.
to be relatable. Like
Mhm.
it sounds fake if it's up. But now like hip hop's, I mean, obviously still people that are famous are coming from the streets, but they're also exaggerating
Mm-hmm.
that like fake lifestyle. Like oh, I'm hard.
Mm-hmm.
50 Cent was probably hard. Like got shot like a couple times. Right? Tupac was hard. Like
Yeah.
some of these guys were hard, but
Not everyone has to.
yeah, not everybody has to be. I think that is more, for me personally, I think that's more endearing. Like, you know, your fan base is going to be more, I guess, like a true fan.
Right.
Because it's
yeah.
like, oh, I like this person as is, as a
Mhm.
total package,
Yeah.
versus this just pigeonholed
Right.
coming from the mean streets of New
Right.
Jersey.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
like,
if you're
it's
like
fake.
into that, yeah,
Yeah.
you're not gonna like me. and
Right.
that's
We don't
that.
really need
Yeah.
that kind of support because it's
Right.
going to die as soon as the new Miranda Kerr pops up.
Exactly.
Quote unquote, the new hard kid comes up, they're gonna like leave you.
Right.
Yeah.
But with you, with like that's my thing was like his Instagram is, what's your Instagram again?
Noctunes.
Oh, thank you. How do you spell that?
Noctunes.
Yeah.
Follow that shit.
So that's the thing is like with your Instagram, I find it more endearing because it's not a fan page, it is your personal page.
Right.
Right.
So
It's who you are. It's like your authentic self, right?
yeah, but like for most marketing people, they really see that as a negative thing. It's
Yeah.
like it's too,
Yeah.
you need to tailor it.
Yeah.
But me personally, as like, I guess family, I
Yeah.
appreciate that more.
Right. Right. I can see that. Definitely.
So have you had female fans kind of hit you up,
On Instagram,
or YouTube or wherever?
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah. I mean, it happened much more frequently right after the show. It was just like I didn't know like, you know how the Instagram has a direct message thing
Yeah.
and a DM.
Yeah.
I didn't know like once you surpass the limit that it just says +99. Like you know, 'cause-
They'll keep track of it.
yeah, it just and it like refreshes. I think if you get too much, like the bottom ones get deleted or something.
Oh,
Direct
yeah,
messages.
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't have that problem, so.
I didn't. I don't have it now. Because it's just been too long of a time after. But yeah, that's when I noticed.
Mhm.
There's
Are there,
something, like, weird.
were there any like marry me proposals?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, really?
But, like not. I don't think they were serious.
Yeah,
you
of
know.
course.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you click on it? Did you click on their profile to see how good?
Probably
looking
clicked
they
on
were?
every single one of them.
Did you ever like was it hard to kind of juggle your like personal relationships while doing that show and like having to deal with like, I guess the stardom and like having your fans message you, kind of balancing that? We talk about jealousy, like in your personal relationships. If people were jealous, like, yo, get off the Instagram while we're at dinner or things like that.
I don't
It's
know
like,
if
who
they
is
were.
that?
If they were, like, they
It just
didn't tell
wouldn't
me.
work. Oh, okay.
They didn't tell me because I never noticed it and they never brought it up. So I guess it either didn't happen or I'm unaware.
Mm.
See, you're kind of like a little bit of an anomaly. At your age,
Yeah.
the guys that I know at your age
Yeah.
are out and about partying.
Right. Yeah, I am. I think it has to do because I can't drink. I can't drink
Yeah.
alcohol, and I think that has a lot to do with going out, right?
Yeah, I mean, like Korea is such a drink-heavy culture, so
So
it's
you
like,
guys have, both of you guys can't drink,
Yeah.
and you guys share that same or lack of gene.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, you guys still go out. I mean, Chris, you know, we've hung out,
Yeah.
you know, in bars, you know, settings where there's alcohol flowing, but he just doesn't drink. He just drinks
Yeah.
milk.
Yeah.
But I think it's also like the people that I actually can't drink milk either. But
Lactose intolerance,
lactose, bro. I think it's also the people that I hang out with don't force drinks on me. Whereas like if he's at his age, some of his friends may not force him to drink, but they're probably like uncomfortable to drink around him.
You think?
Whereas like, yeah, I know a lot of Korean people who are like
They just want to share that experience.
exactly, they don't
Right,
have
right.
fun.
Happiness.
So if you're not drinking, it's like, oh,
I'm having fun, but they think I'm not.
Right,
Exactly.
exactly,
It's
yeah.
their standards,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But as you get older, I think you learn to like enjoy your drink
That's right.
by yourself
That's right.
and your company.
Yep.
Yeah.
Versus like I need to be drunk with this person,
Right.
Right.
and we need to both do embarrassing shit
Right.
Yeah.
to build this like fraternity.
Yeah.
Right.
Like because if I only do embarrassing shit and this guy's sober, it's like, oh, he's got dirt on me.
Right.
You know, so that's why I kind of stayed away from like the nightlife. Is like it was uncomfortable for them that I was there, and
They
could kind
couldn't relax.
Yeah,
and
so like
be themselves.
I don't really need to stay out that late to do that either.
So then your friends, you know, are they the single guys? Obviously, they're when you guys hang out, are they all about the women and just trying to hook up with the girls and Tindering and stuff?
No, like I feel like a couple are. They're really into, and when we go out, they're scoping. They're always scoping, and a lot of them are just like looking to meet people, not necessarily girls, but like whether it be like, oh, like I met this cool person who's into this, maybe like I can start like a business relationship with him or stuff like that, or like it might be like a good opportunity. He might have like a job or something.
It's like a social.
Yeah, it's like they enjoy the social
Yeah.
aspect of it.
Okay, so it's not strictly about hooking
Right,
up
right,
and
right.
stuff.
Yeah, I think if that was the case, probably wouldn't be like it wouldn't be easy to hang out with those type of people all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
It's definitely like I've been with that crew, and it's definitely more. You're enjoying the company that you're with versus bringing in people from the outside.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, because I can't really, I'm fake that stuff. Like
Ah,
when
that
I don't,
interaction.
yeah, like
Oh,
when I
okay.
don't, like I'm not interested in.
Right.
in
This
in
person's
in
sitting
part.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then I can't like.
Engage.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't entertain him.
You
Yeah.
like look at them like that Happy New Year girl looked at you, right?
Right. Oh no, not like that. But yeah, they
You
might
just
feel
don't
some type of
interact.
way
Yeah.
when
They'll
I'm
get
cooking a meal.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good one right here. This
Yeah.
topic right there.
Right. Weird couple things that you bringing back to the dating thing that you guys see.
I mean, a couple T-shirts. You don't really see that too much.
in Korea, right?
Yeah, you don't see it too much anymore.
Yeah.
But
I see it sometimes. I see it.
bro, like my wife is into couple shit, and I can't do. I refuse.
Really?
I refuse. Like we both have black Birkenstocks, but we don't wear them together. You know.
You make sure.
I'll make sure.
Does
I'll-
she want to wear them?
like in the summertime, I'll wear like winter boots if she's wearing it. I don't do couple like. I think it's cool to like. We have couple mugs and stuff. Like she's all about like Disney lifestyle and all that stuff. But yeah, I can't do the same T-shirts. Like it's weird.
Even inside.
Even inside.
Okay.
Yeah, like what happens if like I mean we're married, but like let's say you're dating somebody and you buy all this couple shit. What happens when you break up? You just like we should make a store that just collects couple half of your couple shit.
The breakup?
Yeah, the breakup store, and we
yeah.
just like give it to homeless people or something.
That'd be nice. It's
Yeah.
a good.
What,
NGO.
is there any like weird couple thing that you've had to do?
that I've had to do.
No, luckily no.
Yeah,
Like
see,
that in my life. no.
Again, I think it's because we're probably Korean American, so like that would probably turn us away from being in a
Totally.
long-term relationship with like someone that's totally into that, you know?
So years ago when I was dating, many years ago, there was one girl. She was Korean, and she wanted to do the couple t-shirt kind of thing, or the couple clothes kind of thing, right? And this was actually in America. So she had moved over to the U.S. for a little bit, and so but her rendition of this was a little bit more tempered. It was like it's not the exact like t-shirts, right? But she wanted us to coordinate our
Couple
clothes. Couple look, right?
look, dude.
So it's like if she wears like blue jeans and a white t-shirt,
You should be wearing something.
then
white.
I wear like a white button down
Right.
and like a darker blue jeans, and I was like, that's kind of like even worse kind of
Right.
thing, right?
Right.
That, because that's way too played out. Like if you're a celebrity, that's kind of okay. People are taking pictures of you.
Right.
But like if you're a normal person, that's too much work to leave the house, man.
Well, I gotta wear
Yeah.
what? What color?
Yeah, yeah.
No, but she got upset when I said I didn't want to
Was
do
she
that.
was she like a designer? Do you remember? If she was
I
like a
doubt it.
fashion
No,
coordinator,
I doubt it.
No, she was not into fashion. I think she was in. God, what was she? It was in beauty somewhere, but
I mean,
not
this
fashion.
goes back to the whole possession thing. It's like that is a way to be like, here's a
Cleansing.
leash,
Yeah, yeah.
an invisible leash between my Lululemon shirt
That's right.
and her Lululemon shirt. Do not approach her.
Right.
Like, and it's because guys are hawking girls, picking them up, like dragging them, even on the streets. Like, guys will be touting for numbers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got that couple of shirts, like, oh, I get it.
She's off.
They're
limits.
together. Yeah. Sure,
Yeah.
man. Maybe like, damn. That is interesting. The couple shirt.
Couple shirts and stuff like peggy, which is like you celebrate the 100th day of
Yeah, I
your
can't do
relationship.
that.
Oh god.
Where did that come from? Like, the
I
100th
think it's
day.
a Korean thing.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think they do in Japan too.
Oh, they
I
do?
think.
For the baby.
For the baby, because I
Yeah.
guess that was a big deal. Babies usually died.
Right.
If you
right.
pass that mark, right?
Yeah.
That was many years
Exactly.
ago, right?
But how did that happen? I guess they're using the same idea of like this baby relationship.
But it's
I think
also
it's
like
because 100 is like that number.
It's so hard to remember.
100.
Yeah, but it's like
it's like another contrived celebration of something, right? If that's the case, you should celebrate every freaking day. It's like
Well, they
day
do.
number 2, day
Yeah.
number
Oh,
3.
oh.
Here's week number 4, right?
did you ever have an app that or like yeah
Like
something
between?
yeah would calculate your 100 days?
No.
What?
No, because you think about it.
There's an app for that.
Yeah, there's an app. Well, I'm sure it is.
I think
yeah.
so. Yeah, I think it's
But
good.
think about it. If it's 100 days and today's the 15th,
Yeah.
what day is it going to be in 100 days? You're going to have to sit there
Fuck,
with
I
a
don't know.
calendar and count them out.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to do an app. So it's
Mhm.
like before a phone, literally people will bust out a calendar and count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they're like, oh, that's the 100th day.
Good Lord.
And then she has to check it.
Jeez.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3. Yeah, you're
And they're
right.
like, oh shit, it's a Wednesday. I gotta take off work. Yeah, because Valentine's Day is coming up
It's tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah. Dude,
Well, that's the thing. Valentine's Day
It's not a
in
big-
Korean
yeah, it's true.
is also a day when girls give
Yeah.
guys
something.
chocolates.
Yeah. And then
Wait,
White
wait,
Day.
And I think White Day, is that a Korean thing as well?
They have that in Japan too.
Okay, so
Yeah.
for Asian.
I think a lot of that stuff comes from Japan.
Well, Valentine's, if I'm not mistaken, is a holiday.
Yes.
It's a made-up holiday by Hallmark.
Oh, by
Oh.
the card company?
I think so.
Oh, is it?
I've heard. I don't know. I could be totally wrong on that.
But in the States, it's like when
It's a big-
girls and guys
Yeah,
both
both.
give each other
Both.
Well,
chocolate.
I don't know about both. I think mostly guys are doing shit on Valentine's
That's true,
Day.
that's true.
Flowers and dinner.
Yeah,
It's not like a girl's paying for dinner because you got her flowers.
right.
But there's a kind of one of those kind of holidays every day in the calendar year, every month, every day in every month here in Korea. In April has one, May has one, some type of celebratory day. Somebody
Like a
told me about it.
relationship?
I thought someone told me about this, right? Like Pepero Day, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be just purely about the relationship, but there's some type of themed holiday
I mean,
every month.
there's so many. Like I remember reading this post. There's Samgyeopsal Day.
Oh,
There's 2-2 Day, which means 22nd day of your relationship. There's 3-3 Day, obviously.
Oh
There's
my
gonna be
goodness.
4-4 Day, 5-5 Day, 6-7. It's ridiculous, and you can't keep track of that
No,
shit.
you can't do that.
That means there's
Can you
more
imagine-
days that are anniversaries than there are not.
They're not. Can you imagine if a girl got pissed at you? She's like, you know what today is? It's 2-2 day. And you're like,
What does that mean?
Tuesday?
Tuesday?
And they're like, it's 2-2 day. You know you're supposed to give me a 2-2, and we're supposed to go watch ballet. Nah.
Well, here's something that Well, I mean, back to the quirky thing with the couples. Have you guys had any experiences or know people like quirky, strange little couple things?
No, I've had a couple of my white friends back in college, not visit me, but they were here. Like I think she taught here for like a year, and she explained, like, that was one of the first things she has said to me that she thought was like interesting or weird, that couples did that. And then like her boyfriend, who is also my friend, had visited, and he was like saying that too. He's like, oh yeah, it's so weird. So, and they were both like commenting on it kind of like negatively, so weird. And then she just turned around and said, like, do you want to do it though?
While
they're
they're
both
here.
white. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
both
yeah.
white. And she's like, yeah, but I kind of like it. So it might be like a girl thing.
Hmm.
Like
Maybe.
I thought it was like a Korean thing, but like she was, after commenting on how weird it was, she was willing to do it. She was like, oh, but I think it's kind of cute.
Hmm.
We should do it. And he was like, huh? Fuck no.
My friend that's in Cambodia right now said he's a white guy, and he's traveling Southeast Asia right now. And he said, "What is it with Asian girls feeding me?" And I was like, "Whoa, that's weird. I guess they do feed. Like a lot of Asian,
Feeding?
they're like, oh, yo, momo, like,
Oh.
and like giving you
Give
something.
hand feed you.
Like you don't really see a white girl be like, oh, have this hot dog. You're like, yo, get out my face. You know, it's.
Ah.
And I never really thought about that. And he was
I
like,
haven't either.
it's such a weird babying thing to him where he's like, it feels almost emasculating to have someone
Right.
feed you something all the time.
Hold on, isn't that like the most masculine thing?
I don't-
Kings
it's
back in the
being
day were
fed.
being fed.
Yeah, but it's
Like
more like
fanned and graped.
being
And,
more like a baby, like an infant. Like
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, he doesn't like it.
Have you had any of your exes do that?
I don't like it either.
I don't like it.
Yeah, so even if they gave me something, I'm probably like, oh, okay, thanks, put it on my plate, I'll grab
Right,
it later.
right.
Yeah.
I think I like it.
Yeah?
I think I just remembered all those moments when I was young playing video games and my grandmother would feed me food, and I enjoyed those moments. Like I was just like, oh, like orange.
That's true. When you're playing a game, man,
Yeah.
you can't take your hands off the
Exactly.
sticks. Yeah, so that's one thing I just
Interesting.
remembered. Yeah,
Paying the bill. Ooh, paying the bill.
dude, I'm kind of old school where I just pick up the bill.
I do that too. It's hard for me to like not.
I've given my credit card to the girl to go pay,
Oh,
so it like other people can perceive it as like, oh, she's picking
Right,
up the
right.
bill, but I'll just give her the card.
I feel like she feels some type of way for that too, though.
What do you mean? Like felt like
yeah.
oh,
Oh, I could. What do
pay
you,
myself?
I could pay myself.
But those are usually like long-term relationships.
Oh,
where it's like,
oh,
oh, here
okay.
you go, you can pay.
Right.
Like use this to pay.
But if it's a long-term relationship, does it matter? Like what?
Who's paying?
No, like does it matter like how other people perceive it?
Oh,
Like why are you worried about other people?
Well,
like, what?
more than anything, like I think if I give my card to her, like she's
It's
not.
trust.
Yeah, and she's not gonna use her card. Like even if she wanted to pay, she'd be like, oh, I'll just use it.
Okay.
Yeah,
The point is you're paying.
yeah for the
Yeah.
most part, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, especially like first dates and stuff. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah. You should
an
be
Asian
impressing.
thing. Like you,
The amount of time that a
Yeah.
girl takes to get ready, I probably should pay. You know, it's like, damn, this girl probably took 2 hours
that's
to
true.
get ready.
That's true. That's
I
true.
came out like in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo,
I'll pay
just
you
for
for your-
time,
yeah.
for your time, I'm gonna pay for it. Yeah.
I know in Europe, back when I was in Copenhagen, like
Girls pay?
it was like a split.
Dutch pay. Yeah.
Do the Dutch pay like that? Why is it
I
called
don't
Dutch
know where
pay?
that came from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's an Asian thing. Dutch
yeah,
pay.
yeah, Dutch
Nobody
pay.
says that in
Yeah,
America.
Exactly.
But I mean, just paying yourself, right?
Yeah, just paying for your part of the meal.
And then, oh yeah, Dutch pay is a Korean
It's a
or
Korean.
Asian thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expression.
Yeah.
I gotta ask some Dutch people about that.
They're probably like, nah, guys pay all the time. Yeah, like, if a girl pays, if she offers to pay, I think that's
That's a nice
that's
gesture.
nice. Like,
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, she has the capability
Right.
and she has the kind of sensitivity
Right.
to like know that like
Right.
yeah, we've been going on like
Yeah.
50 dates.
Uh-huh.
I paid for 49 of them. Like, yeah, maybe you should buy this McDonald's.
I don't know if that's a good girl,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
If it took 49 days.
Thank you for that happy meal.
One of the things here is, like, a guy pays for like the meal,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then like when you go to
Dessert.
like a dessert or a coffee shop, like
Yeah.
a girl might pay, and then like you're like, okay, like this girl's like not bad, like
Right. She did.
she's yeah.
Yeah, she.
I remember going on a date with this, she was, I think she's Japanese, but she spoke Korean like so well.
Yeah.
She was so fine, so fine. She had this like huge rose tattoo here, like
Yeah.
oh my gosh, so sexy. Anyways, this is back in the day. But
Okay.
I guess like I went on a date with her, yo, she didn't pay. She didn't offer to pay for nothing. We ate.
Yeah.
We had we went to the movies. We got dessert. We got ice cream. Like, yo, this is what ticked me off though. Hold on. She got like I went to the restroom or something. She got ice cream for herself.
Whoa.
And when I like just for herself.
And then you paid when you got back.
And I paid for my ice cream when I got that. And I was just like, yo, what the F?
Yeah, but see, this is where she deserved not to pay anything. You said she was so fine. So she didn't pay for anything.
So this goes back to the early part of our conversation.
Is that what it was?
Right.
Yeah, because she's so fine. She knows, like, yo, there's 100 suitors, and I don't need to pay for this. Like, why would I pay for this guy's
But
ice cream?
I will pay for my ice cream while you're in the bathroom.
That's what fucked me up. that
Oh,
day.
wait, she paid for her own ice cream, though.
Yeah. That's why I was like,
Oh.
wow, I feel some type of way. You couldn't get me ice cream?
Well, was it? You should have just been like, oh, it's for us, and just had, like, a bite of it.
I should have been like, give me that. Throw that in her
You
face.
should-
So she couldn't wait a few minutes for you to come out of the
Yo,
bathroom.
yeah, it's not like I was
She
taking a
went-
shit.
Like she wanted that.
I wasn't.
She wanted that ice cream right then and there.
Just for herself.
Just for herself.
And you know you were probably in the bathroom, like, doing your hair up, like, making sure you look good, like,
Yeah.
you got nothing on your mouth.
Right.
And, like, I'm going back out.
Yeah.
As a quick intermission. I'm
Yeah.
going to try to, like, woo her
Yeah.
again. And then when you see that
Yeah.
ice cream, you're like,
Yeah, yeah.
huh.
Or maybe you know like how really sexy girls like eating that ice cream look even sexier.
Huh.
You know, they're like,
No, that I didn't feel any of that.
Yeah,
I was
say,
just
he's
like,
probably pissed.
I was so angry.
Yeah.
Yo, I mean, it ended that first day. I was just like, yo, fuck this girl.
Yeah.
Because personalities do matter.
Yeah, for sure.
dude, Chris, I think like next time we hang out,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take like 1 or 2 hours to get ready so you could pay.
Well, I already assume you take 1 or 2 hours.
You don't pay.
Yeah, dude.
Let's see.
We're all dating age-wise, like, going upper or lower.
It's a 연상 연하, right?
Yeah, because
It's a big
one of my
thing.
ex-girlfriends, she lied about her age for over a year. Because
To
she
you?
was older than me. And she
Oh,
told me she was, like, my age.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
And I was just like, yo, what? You're older than me by 2 years? Like, damn, I kind of like, I didn't care. I just cared that that lie was carried on for so long.
Bro, technically I didn't date this girl, but she told me she was 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
No, 4 years, no, 2 years older than me when
Okay.
I first met. And we went a couple days and she was like, she just got all sad all of a sudden. And I'm like, what's the matter? She's like, I have something to tell you. I'm like, yeah, tell me. I lied about my age. I'm like, oh shit, like, fuck, like, how old are you? She's like, I'm 2 years older than I said I was.
Yeah.
So she was 4 years older than me. I was
Right.
like, all right, well, like, that's not too bad. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not thinking of this like super serious. I think as she was. So
Right.
like, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, like, thank God, like, you don't think whatever. And we spent a lot of time together, bro.
And she added more to that?
Yo,
Oh, really?
I was near her house, like, like playing some games, waiting for her at like a PC bar. And
She came out in a wheelchair. She's
no.
like, guess what? I'm
No.
16 years older than you.
she came out and she was like, oh, and then she mentioned like the key, you know how like keyboard, right? It's a keyboard. In Korean, it's keyboard. It's just
Yeah.
keyboard.
Yeah.
And she was like, so she said something like taja, like,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is like
that's
an
a-
old
that's
ass
an old
word
way.
for keyboard.
Yeah.
And me as a joke, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what are you like? Fuck, like,
Yeah. What are you,
yeah, like an
1981?
old person? And then she like her face, it's just like,
It was
you know,
insulting.
no, not insulting, but it was like, oh shit, like,
Oh, she made a mistake.
yeah. And then I was like,
And then
wait.
all her wrinkles came out.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, for real? Like,
Yeah.
Are-
That wasn't a joke.
yeah, are you old? And then
Are
like,
you old?
and then I made her pull out her ID card on me.
Damn.
I was like, yo,
How-
give me that card.
You reverse
How
carded her.
Like, give me that card. I was like, let me see if
How
like
much
this
older?
shit you rate. Yo, she was my sister's age, bro.
Which
How
is
old?
9 years older
She
than
was-
you.
Yeah, basically. She was older than my sister because her birthday was.
But you thought she
Yeah.
was like.
So she was
Yeah, she
looking
looked
good.
good.
Yeah.
She was like I believed her when she said she was 4 years older than me, more than 2 years.
2, yeah.
I was
So
like,
you
that
had a
makes sense.
little bit of
Yeah,
suspicion that
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
probably a little bit older
Right.
than 2.
I guess she could have had
So
like
was
an
it-
unhealthy lifestyle, whatever. Like,
So
what
it
the fuck is
wasn't
wrong?
a shock when she said 4.
Yeah, it was like I was like, okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever.
But
Yeah.
when she said
9.
8 or 9, I was like, yo, what
Wow.
the hell? This is over, bro.
That's awesome.
It was
That's
it
such a-
was it was a shock. That I was like,
But you know she was probably buying you ice cream. If she's 9 years older than you, Yo,
She was nice. Like,
yeah, she was probably
a
like
great personality.
really. She was probably feeding you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
real cougar.
Yeah.
A cougar,
No,
yeah.
I don't know about cougar. 9 years? Is that a cougar? I guess. I
Yeah,
guess
what?
so. Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so. What the hell's a cougar then?
Yeah, because I'm thinking like if you're 18 and the girl's like 20, what is that? 27?
Yeah.
That's not really a cougar.
Wait, so
But if the girl's like 40
Almost, that's,
and
dude,
you're
that's
32,
borderline illegal, bro. That's what all these teachers are getting fucked up for.
yeah, that's so. But would you be able to do that? Would you ever lie about your age to a girl?
Yes. When I was younger.
Oh, you have. That's right.
When I was younger.
Yeah.
to claim you were older.
Yes.
Right.
To,
I've
meet,
never had
to
that
kind of
issue.
meet her in the middle.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
Oh, damn. So you just got payback.
Yo, I never said I was 29 when I was 20.
Did you? Huh?
I said I was like 25 when I was 24.
Okay. So, but dating older and younger doesn't matter to you. Didn't matter to you.
It fucking mattered then.
It mattered that. Oh, well, there's
There's
a
quite a
window.
gap.
Yeah.
It was quite a gap. Also, like, I think it had to do with the fact that she didn't.
Lied.
Yeah, she lied about
I
it.
lied twice.
Yeah, twice.
That's the problem with me
Yeah,
too. I don't
who
really
knows,
care
Man, she might be 70. Like,
because what other lies have you been carrying on?
Exactly.
How long did your
it's like-
carry on for?
Probably a year.
Wow.
Mine not that long. Not that long at all. But Jesus,
Yeah.
Wow.
she said she was 2 years younger than she was.
Yeah. She said she was the same year as me.
See, that's like.
And I should have known
believable.
when I was like, oh yeah, I'm the year of the pig. And then she was like, I think she thought I was like
Ooh.
testing her.
Yeah.
And then she was like, sat there instead of being like, oh, I'm the year of the pig too.
Yeah.
Which everybody that born in '83
Right.
would do.
Yeah.
She was just like, yeah, me
Yeah.
too. And I was like,
She was like calculating.
at that time I didn't think about it, but
Right.
later I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so
God
that's the
damn it.
thing. Like, if you're gonna lie about your age, you better get that Chinese year right.
Yeah,
the year
exactly.
Of the whatever animal you are, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Also, the year that you graduate high school,
That's right.
college.
Mhm.
You gotta like either backtrack or forward track all of that stuff.
hmm
I don't think I've ever lied about my age, like in my entire life. I've
Dating.
never really like tried to go older than what I needed to because I didn't drink. I never went younger than. Like I've always actually, if anything, I probably always said I was a year older just because the Korean age is a year older.
Oh, right.
So I just tell people like I'm 30, and
Yeah.
I was actually 29.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's man. So age is not an issue.
Not necessarily, unless like. She can't be like 60, bro.
Right,
I don't want that.
But let's say if a girl is like 6 years older than you,
Yeah.
is that okay?
6 years older than me.
Yeah.
It's not okay now.
Right. But okay, let's say,
Because I'm 20. Like, I'm.
but okay, let's say it's not okay, right? But
Yeah.
6 years younger than you is okay.
It's
You know, you have to think
thankful.
about, yeah,
It's
you're
thankful,
like,
I guess.
thank God.
You're late 20s.
Yes.
6 years older is not acceptable.
Well, I was thinking in Korean age. Because, like, I'm 26 in like, real age.
Right.
26 and 32, that's acceptable. But, like, in my head, I thought like 28 and 34 right now. So,
Yeah, like that would
Because
be
that girl would be like looking for like marriage in the next few
that too.
all that aside,
Mm.
just like say appearance wise, she looks good, you guys get along.
Well, no, I have to think about my future. If when I'm 34, she's going to be 40. When I'm 40, she's going to be 46.
Mhm.
When I'm 44, she's going to be 50.
So
Yeah,
you're
but when you're
thinking,
18, she was that sprout 20 whatever.
But I wasn't 18.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
18 right now,
Right.
so it would be different if I met her when I was 18 and she was 24, and it was like a blossoming relationship.
So that's the thing is like obviously most guys like can always date younger,
Mhm.
and like I think for us it sounds like we can date a little bit older.
Yeah.
But I think for girls, that window's like really hard to date younger for a girl, with the exception of that girl that lied to you.
Yeah.
And like they probably prefer to date an
Older.
older guy, right?
It's like the known thing, right?
Yeah,
yeah, security reasons and such,
yeah.
like for stability,
Right.
and thinking about the future and stuff. But I know girls who like are
They're
going
probably in
after
their 30s
young,
though.
Yeah, but are
30s
they
and 40s.
are they going
Exactly.
after them for what reason? Like,
play?
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Obviously, you're
Yeah.
gonna play.
Yeah, looks.
You're gonna play with a sports car, not like a
Yeah,
Buick,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never dated anyone who was younger than me, so I don't actually know what that's
Wow.
like.
Really?
Yeah.
Impressive.
Always same or older.
Yeah,
Mhm.
He's mature.
I guess. Well, back when I was younger, like younger than me, really young,
Yeah.
because I was young, and But like, I guess like right now, if that were to happen, it'd be different. But yeah, back then, like, yeah, I like the older women. There were more women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to be with a girl.
I
I
thought
wanted
like
to
a
be
child.
with a woman. Yeah. 'Cause women were hot.
That's how you want to be fed.
Yeah, well, girls were like cute. Like, and women were hot.
Yeah.
I think that was.
I hear you. I'm with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think girls like in their late 20s, early 30s, maybe here.
Asian girls.
Yeah.
Korean girls.
Are like.
Oh, that's like peak.
Yeah, I think that's when they're
After
like,
college,
most, yeah.
like 25
yeah,
to like 35,
35. Yeah,
is like
They-
a Korean girl's
they
prime.
look, yeah, they look amazing.
Whereas like in the States, it would probably be like
15
15
to
to
25.
25. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 10 years prior.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you catch like that unicorn, it's like 15 to 50.
Right,
And
right.
you're like, God,
Yeah.
thank God, you know, for whatever
Yeah.
genes.
Right.
Yeah.
I could show like a picture of these girls that I went to school with in high school to
Oh,
like
man.
friends, and they'd be like, and my Korean friends,
Yeah.
and they'd be like,
How old are they? Yeah.
yeah, they'd be like, she looked like that in high school.
Right.
What are you talking? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane. They just develop so much more quickly. I think we gotta wrap it up for today.
See ya.
Let's do it.
So yeah, maybe. Oh, I don't know if we can talk about this more. We might have more topics, right? Like, I mean,
Oh, more subjects to talk about?
more. Yeah, because I don't think I went through all.
On the dating stuff?
Yeah.
So dating part 2.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
possible.
All right.
Peace.
See you.
Oh, I gotta. Oh, my knees.